some long games and one really close game, but overall it was pretty one-sided in favor of Liquid. But before that, it was Falcons smashing Liquid with the 2-0, and it's been very back and forth this entire season. The record between the two, in terms of games, if we don't look at series, but in terms of games, it's 13-10 in favor of Liquid. But what's 3 games? You know, it's very, very, very back and forth. I love to see what's coming with the pressure of the lower bracket on their shoulders here on the main stage of the International. As we just saw 2 players on screen that I want to focus on. We saw Nisha and Malrine being compared to each other, and I think that's going to be a very telling story going into this one, Rhea, because both of these, they have a lot of pressure. We have such high expectations from them.
Yeah, Nisha is always an overachiever with his gameplay. This guy comes out, he styles, he gives everyone fantasy points, and he dominates the game. I think I always look to Nisha, but I don't feel like it's a solo endeavor. I don't feel like there's any like weight on his shoulders. I think whilst this team, when they have tripped up, it has been kind of like people overextending, including him. You know, Mike is also a very good, very reliable carry, and Ace always plays very solid offlaners as well to kind of round out the trio. With Malrine, though, I feel like Amar always wants to farm a lot, and Skit is going to be a little bit more sacrificial. It always seems to me that Malrine has a little bit more of a job to do with the supports. That being said, when Nisha runs over a game, he runs over a game. Like, he can 1v5.
That's why I want to see Nisha protected in the draft, right? I think when you look towards Malrine, like, you can throw his hero any stage of the draft and like he's going to perform. And Nisha, he can do the same, but he excels and dominates when he has a bit more protection. Like when he closes the second phase of the draft with his pucks, his embers, like when he sees his mid matchup or kind of knows roughly, he's probably going for that hero. He performs on some like ethereal level, but like when he's blind picking an Ember, getting counter picked by Slark, when he's put in this kind of position of you have to play comeback the entire game, he does very well. Still better than often many mids in the world, but he doesn't truly shine to the point where he can just like solo lift Liquid to like another grand finals, right? So I just want to see Nisha a little protected in the drafts.
As the system again, we go back to the system. I think Liquid, they tend to put the win condition on their mid a lot right now. And sometimes it can be, like you say, it's very hard to do in the draft. And they need to figure out how can they actually open up with flexible supports enough for them to allow the Nisha pick to maybe come later.
I want to talk about the coaches of the teams. AY 2000 on the side of Team Falcons and Blitz on the side of Team Liquid. They've got, of course, a lot of work to do here with the draft that's incoming. I feel like they have also somewhat of a similar coaching style, Tigov. Is that fair to say? They are there. They're not always necessarily pressing the buttons, as we do see AY standing, whereas Blitz is sitting down.
So I was reading the lobby chat, I'll be honest. So your question was they have the similar coaching style?
Oh, I'm asking.
No, they have polar opposite coaching styles, I believe. I feel like Aoi's very analytical, very like game directive and like kind of authoritarian in like how he wants to see the game played, whilst complementing his team's opinions. And then I feel like Blitz is more of like the let's try and link up our ideas together, try and facilitate good conversation, make sure that we have the correct vibes. But I kind of feel like if you were to kind of explain what coaches do in Dota, I think Blitz and Aoi are kind of on 2 sides of the spectrum.
Okay.
And then the coaches kind of filter in between those 2 lines. But again, both do exceptionally well. I think in Dota, you can't always just have one type of coach do well. Like some teams need the Blitz, some teams need the Aoi, right? And the reason why certain teams don't succeed is because they have a Blitz when they need an Aoi, they have an Aoi when they need a Blitz, right? And again, 2 exceptional coaches.
Let's not discount Jabs' existence as well, who's a fantastic coach alongside Blitz for Team Liquid. And sometimes, like, if Blitz isn't able to attend tournaments, you see, like, I see Jabs with the team and, like, how much he's, like, pouring over the drafts and trying to help them and work with them. Like, this guy puts in a shit ton of effort. And I think it's been very good for them to have both of those people with the team.
Yeah, sometimes you need Puppy, you know, to tell you what to do.
I guess if there was a triangle, then there is, on one side of the point is Puppy there as well. As
he's not on the block. We're still trying to work out where
where he fits in. Absolutely. Something I didn't ask yet. With both teams coming in, we've got a lot of good things to say about the teams and their records and how well they play, and they're so amazing. But surely, guys, one team must be better than the other. So who you got?
And based on play style, based on playstyle, would favor Liquid. I think Liquid is going to have the slight edge here overall with the hero pool, because I think Falcons, they're kind of limited again. They have the problem with the hero pool. So I think they're going to struggle here. Maybe they have some answers in the first game. I want to see what they decide to do. But based on the games yesterday, I felt like they're struggling to find answers.
Yeah, I feel like, again, Liquid's loss felt like they could understand it a lot quicker than Falcons, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Falcons kind of feel like, oh, this is the limit of the team right now.
Yeah. And like Liquid, it's like you make a draft mistake, you make a gameplay mistake. Like that's an easy replay review. That's an easy discussion with the drafter, But for Falcons, it was like there were so many little mechanics going wrong and things happening that, again, they have the ability to have this conversation, but I think coming into it, it's very close. But I'd say it's like 55-45 to Liquid, but I wouldn't really go further than that. Like it's still a very competitive series. Unless you look at the Essence tournament, and then technically it's kind of very one-sided. But I'm not looking at that random online tournament. I'm at TI.
I mean, when you're looking at both these teams, especially during the group stage, Falcons did not have a single game that went to 2-0. It was all 1-2s or 2-1s. Yes, they 2-0'd Vici Gaming at the elimination round, but other than that, they always went the distance. We're going to find out how things fare here in the lower bracket, and it's a best of 3. Let's see how things play out.
Team Liquid versus Team Falcons. Game 1.
The first game of this elimination game is having Team Liquid on the Radiant side and Team Falcons on the Dire side. We got ourselves a first pick coming out from Falcons soon as well. And that means Team Liquid get that overall last pick. We saw in the previous game, obviously, one player heavily targeted. And I know that in the past, that is something that is also done by Puppy when he was drafting for Vision. Just ban out one player in particular, and I think maybe for some teams it works. Team Liquid does heavily focus on banning out some heroes for Malrine, and that seems to also be a trend here too.
Yeah, of course, the Huskar, the Earth Spirit. I mean, Earth Spirit, it's auto ban at this point. Like, just close your eyes and ban it. That's the start of every single draft, right? And they even still respect the Centaur, but Falcons promoting Bounty Hunter to first pick, which I believe is the first time they are going to be doing that in the tournament. So using the upper bracket information, the 4 best of 3s we saw yesterday, they see the advantage of what it can bring to a draft, the space it can bring in the opening, 15 minutes of the game. And when you have cores as farm heavy as Falcons, you want a bounty on your team to make that space, to buy time for them to get online.
Is it a crit hero though? Does it fit his playstyle?
I mean, we just saw the clockwork style heroes that he's played, the information. I feel like, yes, I think he can run around and be a little pesky crit.
I agree. I think if his goal is to be able to assist multiple lanes and just be so annoying, Crit's got that. I think his map movement is a very big strength of his.
It just depends on what Amar wants to play, because there is a concern that if you pick Bounty Hunter, and then Amar has like a specific type of hero that wants to win the lane, and then you have a Bounty, you can't win the lane.
He doesn't play Darks here, so that's like an issue, because Amar is like a person that wants to win the lane heads up, and Bounty Hunter doesn't really do that, for you. You just kind of want to like survive the lane, and then Bounty is gonna roam around, and you're gonna be on your own device, and that doesn't really sound like what Amar wants to do usually in the game. And maybe, like you said earlier, maybe the Razor could allow them to do that, because if you have a strong lane Razor and Bounty, you can make it work, then it could be a different story.
That is just, I think, going to be the biggest kind of talking point in about 3 picks time, is just kind of understanding how they've thought about this Bounty Hunter. But if you're first picking it in a game, there's probably like, you already know the next 3 or 4 picks to the Bounty Hunter. You're not just like kind of cold going for it. So yeah, we'll have to see where they're going. Liquid, of course, goes to Lina. Tried and tested.
Yeah.
It's Lina.
And I think Liquid received the Yandex Saxa Bounty Hunter yesterday. And they're going to have that fresh in their minds. I think they're going to be way more aware of it and how to deal with it this time around. I'm sure they have thought back on how they were beaten and fixed that. But at the other side, Falcons might have just looked at how Yandex did that and just want to recreate what happened on the main stage there in that second game where Liquid did not stand a chance.
They also haven't played IO yet at the tournament. So if they really want to do first, it's, first Bounty Hunter for them, first IO for them. They could just copy Yandex and see how that goes.
I think one point to the bounty with Amar that you were saying is he can always play an offlaner that can farm Ancients, because the carry just typically doesn't take that space for the first like 20 minutes of the game. You can just stack a lot, and then you can farm that and come back. He doesn't have to win. He wants to win the lane. He doesn't have to win the lane. If you can pick some hero as well that can like buy and get a Dom, then he can just run that creep around 18 times in the top lane, farm up some big wave, and then farm it.
I mean, the thing with his playstyle is he's very different from 33. If it's 33, I could understand it working because 33 just, as long as he's farming, he's going to be happy. But for Ama, because he's a very aggressive player, if he doesn't put himself or the team doesn't put him in a position where he's allowed to win the lane and pressure and attack the tower, he would die, he would feed. He will make mistakes because he just keeps pushing it. So I think they're very different type of players, and you gotta try to bring the best out of them, and you want to give them the best sort of position to play their natural play style.
Do you think that maybe they could?
Because I don't
help
think
that
you can
by
change the
playing-
player.
Yeah.
You have to let them just be themselves and just give them the best options in the game.
So then in that case, do you think it's more important that they pick a safe lane where the 5 can rotate through gate and then focus on like deep-warding gate and maybe...
Yeah, possibly. I think Enchantress will still be great for that.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll get themselves a Spirit Breaker at the very start of the day. There was one wish that Winter had. I just want to see a Bounty Hunter and a Spirit Breaker against each other and charge against each other. And I know T, you're also a big Spirit Breaker fan already, so
course.
I feel like it's Christmas.
I mean, it is. It's going to be absolutely delightful. Spirit Breaker is, if you go back in the history of Dota, in this annoying hero that is ruining my day, you pick Spirit Breaker and just charge him on repeat, and then you know exactly where he's going. If you really want to be advanced, by the way, you backpack your boots and your move speed so that you charge slower to get more information to see if you place a ward. Just fun tip for you. And Falcons do actually go for the Razor. But yeah, for Liquid, I mean, Spirit Breaker into Bounty Hunter is going to be pretty good. I think the Shard has to be respected with the planar pocket. Being able to absorb utility and spells is going to be quite something to keep out. If Falcons go for anything single target, Spirit Breaker can counter that. But again, Cow versus... What is a Bounty Hunter? A cat?
He's like a rat, isn't he?
Is he a rat? Whatever animal he is.
He's a little rodent.
The cow should beat the animal, but then the electric thing should electrocute the cow. So yeah, that's why they're on the fence normally.
And one more thing to add with the SB is SB and Lina together is very, very nice. Because whenever, at least for me when I'm playing SB, I want a mid laner like Lesh and Lina. So it's easy, high damage. When I charge over, I can just instantly kill. So I always have the option to rotate to mid. You don't want to be like laning with a mid laner which doesn't really have a lot of damage, so you can't really set up kills. So again, this Underlord, very, very nice here. Pairs up very well with the SB. You charge, you find someone, and the Underlord connects to you. Very, very annoying. It's also a Bounty Hunter counter. You see him on the map, you just pit him, and you Fiend's Gate, and you pit him, and you kill him.
I think we come to a conclusion. The bounty has been dealt with. All right, we think we've found the answers. He's been shut down. I mean, also the main thing, Liquid, they just have the front line, right? Lina is very much protected through the Underlord, the Spirit Breaker. Like, there is no question, Lina will be very difficult to find. And Falcons right now, they have Moonlight Shadow, they have Bounty Hunter Track, so they have tools to try and get into good positions to maybe get the vision advantage. But they still don't have the way to consistently find the backline and get the kill. And then Liquid on top of that go for a Rubik, so they'll be able to utilize the shard that Save used in the previous series to keep Kiritich alive multiple times to also help the Lina. So right now it's like 3 protect Lina, and Falcons don't have the answers yet to stop a farmed Lina from just ripping through them.
I mean,
Maybe the answer's going to come now.
Does it mean the Rubik is what, post 5? Are they going to lane the Rubik with Underlord and the SB is going to be on the safe lane?
I'd assume that would be the current setup, yeah.
To be leaning
And that is a Sven.
SG.
Do we like Sven?
The blink stun on Skitter, yes.
That's it. Blank
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Skeeter, check.
Yeah.
Got him.
Yeah, see Lina, Skidder, go kill her. That's basically it. That's the simplest narrative for the pickup.
That sounds like a very easy script that's being followed. I'm always a little worried if there's a clear script that's being followed, that the team on the other side knows exactly what's coming and therefore has been able to prepare for it.
Yeah.
Gonna find out of that. We got Wind Ranger banned out, so we're looking for a hero for Nisha. Most likely we can swap the Lina to mid if we want to, but that's on the side of Liquid.
There's flexibility there. I think Falcons, not concern, but I think Skidder just has a very good game, because if he doesn't, Spirit Breaker can just bash him throughout the BKB, and Sven is a hero that you are locked into. If you have BKB, you can kill. If you don't, you have to respect the ability to kite you, and you probably won't do as much damage. And then, of course, Rubik, like we already mentioned, I think both supports on Liquid, if they have a good game, they may stop Skidder ever doing the perfect damage that you require from this pick position, where you kind of feel like the main source of Lina threat.
I mean, one of the nice things, though, at least, talking about Spirit Breaker and his potential, is the Mirana pickup in response is a support that naturally wants to buy Yules as a first item if it calls for it, and this is a fantastic Yules game. So Spirit Breaker, he's going to want to stand at like jungle entrances, break smokes, and play like that, but if Mirana is there in these Moonlight Shadows, right, she can just Yules and he can get that pick off easily.
Honestly, it could just be a double Yules game. Bounty and Mirana might just want to buy it. And it is difficult for Spirit
It's
Breaker.
good for Force staff too. I think one of them should buy Force.
There you go.
Yeah, it counters the Rubik and the
Yeah.
Pit. I think having double use, it's nice, but I think in practice you want to have one use and one Force staff, and they have to distribute the items accordingly.
Double Yules, double Force. How about we have everything?
I mean, if you're
That's-
that, if you're that rich, sure.
Hey, it's bounty.
I mean, your Falcons, they're going to be fine. They're going to generate the gold in the game. It's fine.
Yeah. I think they have a nice ball right now because when I look at Liquid's lineup, when you play with Spirit Breaker, you kind of want to be on the offensive. You want to be chasing. I don't think Spirit Breaker feels too good when you're the one being pushed back, but Falcons have a really good lineup for that. With this like Warcry buff, Razor, and Miranda that can catch you with Leap and Yules, like, and your Bounty Hunter tracking in advance. Like, I think if they are able to be in the right formation, Falcons can push the map a lot nicer.
I kind of feel like I'd rather see the Razor just go, I think, off lane in this scenario. Utilize the Bounty, who can either play the lane or skip waves really nicely, and then you find a new mid. Because I think Lina into Razor, you are kind of gifting the Lina just to farm quite nicely. Like when Razor was the dominant mid, Lina's,
Nobody.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
can believe it?
You just want to farm. You get like maybe some, I don't know, like
You unplug their keyboard at the start of the game. Like run over to their booth and just, yeah.
And he's gonna unplug the keyboard by playing something like Sand King, because you just go drag the wave and farm the
yeah,
jungler,
yeah,
so you don't have
Don't
to
even-
be there.
Get the mouse click
But that
standstill.
seems really hard into Spirit Breaker.
Yes, that is the value of having the cow on your team. Any wave skipping behind tower, you can just shut that down.
Like, you see the question mark, you know, on his face about what Melreen gets to play in this game. They took a lot of time before banning out the Kez. We see the Necrophos banned out by Team Liquid, and it's up to Falcons to decide what to play here. Team Liquid has overall first pick and near a minute still left in their bonus time, so they get a lot of time still to talk about how they're going to counter whatever is going to come their way. But that amount of time is not something Falcons is privy to, as their bonus time is only 10 seconds.
Let's make a prayer circle. No Doom Midas. No Doom losing late
Snapfire.
Midas.
It's
Yes!
an Undertaker! We
Amazing!
like that.
All right.
So Liquid
Into the Rubik.
Yeah, it's okay.
I guess.
Oh, you don't
This
like-
Rubik is having such a nice buffet of spells. The Razor, Nuke, the Plasma Field, the Stun from Sven, the Earthshaker. If Rubik ever gets a really good start, I could see the Rubik just carrying the team fights in this game.
But I can see a world where Falcons, they wanted another way to jump to the back line. And I think Liquid, they have exceptional fights where it lasts 15-20 seconds of kiting and saving and throwing out auras. So their answer was like, if we see a hero for a millisecond, Sven and Earthshaker will insta-blow that guy up with a slam into, Godstroke, whatever. We need to kill that guy. Of course, Lina will be the target the entire time. So I think Falcons kind of a scrambling for a pick at the very end. They identified a type of hero they needed. They have found a hero that kind of fixes the problem we were looking at. But again, it's an Earthshaker from the mid lane. I'm not too excited by it, but I understand the use case and why they picked it in this scenario, because they needed some explosive damage.
You can never stop Rubik from getting what he wants, really, but at the same time, you're playing Vision Heroes with Bounty, so hopefully the goal of him this whole game will just be to find Rubik and give his team the vision to jump in.
TI classic. So I'm just going to
It's
soak
so
that
good.
in.
It's so good.
The clap. Thank God they kept that animation, actually. If they removed that animation... Nisha Invoker.
Spicy.
I really like it.
Against the Sven, against the Earthshaker, it gives you a lot of like kiting with the tornado, and the EMP is so annoying for those heroes. Somewhere down the road, when you get to the mid game in the team fights, you get one mana burn off, and it means like the fight is over. But with the Invoker, it feels like Liquid are the ones that are going to be playing slow here, though. It does enable the Spirit Breaker in the early game, so you can charge and Sunstrike and get some kills. So it's very important that they are able to find some kills in that way, because otherwise all their cores kind of want to farm, Mickey is on a Lina, which it's not like his usual style where you want to come help the team. Lina, you don't help the team. You just farm and you hope your team survives.
I feel like Liquid will have a pretty good shot in the laning phase, but it's kind of how do they deal with Falcons inevitably getting the BKB timings.
Yeah.
That is when Falcons will be extremely scary. All the saves and the ways that Liquid can kind of keep Lina alive, because it's 4 heroes that once again will amplify Mickey to just pop off. But that BKB timing for Falcons, that is the biggest window for them to play through. If you are
I
Falcons.
agree. They're all magic damage. The BKB is going to destroy them.
It's a big upside for Team Liquid that they have a position 5 that used to be position 4 because they get themselves Tofu playing his Rubik. Curious to see how the lanes will play itself out, if Boxy on a Spearbreaker will still start with the Lina, and if we're going to have some moving about, because it's probably going to be eventually the Underlord that will be left alone if there's a Spearbreaker running amok somewhere. But it is proving to be a potential very active early game for this first game of the best of 3. This active early game is probably gonna be very exciting. Definitely gonna be very exciting. You know what's also very exciting? It's an interview with Coach Blitz.
Absolutely, extremely exciting to have a legend like Blitz here with us today. Sir, that's not the first time Liquid has gone up against Falcons. Many times before. In fact, one of the longest standing rivalries out there. What's it like to play against this team again?
It's incredibly humbling. I believe that this is the first time that me and one of AUI's teams have ever met on the main stage. I think this is the first time. A lot of people don't know this, but AUI is a person that I've known the longest in Dota. This is 20 years now that I've known this guy. And so to look to my right and see him in this position, it's really emotional for me, and it's like one of the coolest full circle moments of my Dota career. You know, I don't think we have a lot left in us, and so being able to do it one time at least, it's, you know, have a good cry backstage, and it's awesome. It really is.
Well, it's good to hear that if you're going to go against anybody, you're going against a good friend and someone that's been around for a long time. Let's talk a little bit about that draft then and your guys' plan. Now, the panel has been talking a lot about this Spearbreaker hero potentially being this counter to the Bounty Hunter. We're seeing this pseudo-global strat with Prophets and Wisps and all this. Is that kind of the plan against the Spearbreaker? Is it specifically against Bounty, or did you have something else in mind?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you see the bounty hero, you have to kind of address it. We took the Lina because it's a high-value hero, and then after that, you know, in Dota, as soon as you see a hero, you want to address it because it's going to be a support. You know, there's no core bounty hunter shenanigans, so it's kind of easy to one-to-one it. You know, I credits to them because they didn't really play it, and I think both our teams got our ass beat by it, so they're just like, we're going to YOLO run it. And I respect that because we have not played Breaker a single time, so both teams are kind of just saying, you know what, it's TI, let's throw caution to the wind, have a bit of a good time, and trust our players to be able to execute.
I trust we're going to have a hell of a series. Thank you so much, Blitz. We're so excited to see how this one goes, and we'll check it out with our casters.
Thank you so much, Sir Action Slacks. We are here, lower bracket international play. That means elimination on the line. Falcons versus Liquid. One of these teams is going home.
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of people would have expected that coming in.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you're one of the people out there who still has a flawless bracket, congratulations. I think you're in the top 1% already with these few series being played. I personally was not expecting either of the... Oh, actually, excuse me. I was expecting Liquid here. I did pick Yandex, but I did not pick Falcons to lose yesterday. But here we are, and only one of these teams will make even the top 6. And of course, keep in mind, there's TI winners on both sides. There's recent TI winners on both sides, as a matter of fact, the previous 2 champions.
That's right.
So this is a battle of who fluked the least.
Would you have guessed that they've never met on stage before? That sounds
pretty
crazy, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming he means specifically TI main event.
Right.
Falcons versus Liquid. I can believe that.
It's more AUI.
Oh, AUI coach team. Yeah, that's true, actually.
That seems
Yeah,
really
that's-
hard to believe,
that
but
is
he would know better
surprising.
than anybody. But yeah, that's a pretty interesting storyline, I suppose, as we get into the early stages of the game. Let's talk about the lineups. Spearbreaker early picks, and talk to me about this cow.
I love this hero. I personally think it's been a little bit undervalued. It's not a hero I was expecting to see a lot, but I think it does have some games that it can be cool. And obviously against Bounty Hunter, you're inspired to try to run this. It's a historical classic counter. You see Bounty anywhere on a sentry, you can charge him across the map, you can keep track of him, no pun intended, and actually kill him at his own game. And also, in this meta, where a lot of the carries are ranged, you have this option that you're seeing Liquid exploit in this draft where you pick Spirit Breaker, Lina as the first two, and they could be, the Spirit Breaker could have been 4 or 5, the Lina could have been 2 or 1, so mid or safe lane, and they end up effectively doing a 180 at the very end, putting Mickey on the carry Lina to give Nisha a very nice last pick for the game as well. I think this is a beautiful draft from Liquid. I definitely favor them in this individual game. Also because Razor is a big question mark for me. Like, this hero we have barely seen. It has definitely fallen off a cliff. Mickey will be on the receiving end of said Razor.
Nice caster currently willing to dive.
Trying to kill.
Tofu will get dropped by Snake King in the meantime in this top lane.
Both lanes going well to start for the Falcons.
Well, that answers your question about Razor, I guess. I mean, I'm more surprised we haven't seen Razor against, I mean, maybe it's not good anymore, against the Lone Druid, which we've been seeing constantly. That used to be an old counter at least.
I think that lane is still really tough now. That's what's surprising for this. Amar picked it blind, too. They had only seen the Lina. The Lina could have gone mid, so he knew none of his matchups. Or he knew a Spirit Breaker who he wasn't necessarily even laning against. It was like, we'll play Razor. If there's a team to do it, it would be Falcons. They are the Razor team of all time, playing it on all 3 core positions across countless patches.
Peter, Sunstrike's coming. He will drop inside of the Pit of Malice. And that is the scary part of the Underlord Rubik combination. Actually, I think the win rate with these two is not particularly good, but you can see the combo is excellent. Being able to telekinesis back in to basically ensure a second route. Box able to TP back, and obviously will be able to charge at any point. I mean, how early do you want to roam, if at all? I mean, I'm guessing you do on the cow.
That's the downside in this game, is that I think it's very hard to leave Lina alone. This hero is super fragile when it comes to playing in the safe lane if you leave your support away from her, because she's just prone to being dove in the tower. And she's playing into Bounty Hunter plus a hero with high damage. He never really knows where Bounty is. He just gets stunned and then into a static link. So I think Boxy is kind of pinned down a little bit in that sense, which is I think the biggest flaw of Liquid's draft here is it's not great for Spirit Breaker to have to play like that. Maybe when Lina starts semi-jungling, you can try to pivot away from that, but yeah, so far so good for Falcons still, in spite of that one death up top onto Skeeter. Still looking great on the core net worths. All their lanes are working out just fine.
Yeah, Malrine 19-7 in the mid lane with Nisha on his Invoker at 15-5.
Yep.
And what type of build are we expecting to see from the Invoker? Is there any variation these days? Because it feels like it's usually the heavy Exort.
Yeah, Meteor Hammer. I think Nisha's just going to stick to the standard here. I don't think there's any reason to deviate too much. It has been a little bit surprising to me, actually, to see just how one-dimensional Invoker play has become. This hero historically has always had different modes between Wex and Exort as the 2 primary ways of playing, but yeah, in this tournament, I genuinely believe every single game that I have seen Invoker, it has been playing Exort with Meteor Hammer, I think every time. And obviously, it's... Oh, hang on, Mickey.
Getting on. A lot of damage from Amar right now.
I think the Invoker build is kind of a consequence of, at least in part, the bigger map. You need to be able to farm efficiently, and with the Meteor Hammer, you're farming stacks in the jungle. You still have tower pressure, and of course, you are going to go for your shard to kill waves without even showing your hero.
Snake, a lot of damage, and we didn't even mention that he's playing his signature hero.
He is the best 5 Mirana.
I mean, people are playing Mirana these days a little bit more often, but even when this hero is completely out of the meta, you can expect him to still pick Mirana at some point during a tournament. So all of that experience over the years definitely going to be paying off.
He must have been super happy when this hero got Celestial Quiver, because I think that was what the hero was really lacking to keep up with a lot of the other heroes' buffs over time. Was Mirana's laning was just too weak. She had so little damage. Now that is compensated for, see Snake King run it when it's appropriate.
Yeah, well, Crit is now getting charged. Malrine will secure the first power rune of the game. It's a damage. As Boxy will successfully charge and then back away. Wasn't really any kill threat quite yet. Only a level 3 Spirit Breaker, in fact. Does have the dust, though. And you can see the tornado into Fable. So Tofu making his way over here, which means it's a 1v1 in the top lane at the moment. Sven versus Underlord, which
they're just going to farm.
Yeah.
So not too interesting. Oh, bottom lane, though. This could be another attempt onto Mickey in the tower. They have creeps coming in and a siege wave.
Charge is coming.
This puts charge on cooldown as well. See, yep,
Plat
indeed.
just barely ticks Mickey. The stun coming out from Crit under the tree line will show himself. Gonna reset now as Amar still chilling in the south.
Here comes Malrine though.
Oh, absolutely. Static Link is there with the fissure to follow. Mickey dead again. Second death of the game. Oh, a good attempt on the Malrine ult. The damage is what matters there as Amar is able to secure the double kill. Sunstrike not going to be there. Was looking for the potential. Does he have after? Yeah, I was going to say he's looking for the stun. It was out of range, but damage was all he needed.
And there's definitely something to be said about comfort, right? Like, there's a couple of things happening in this game already. Amar gets to play, I'm sure you would agree, one of his at least top 5 heroes of all time. It's hard to
That's
pick.
not. Skeeter, double root, Sunstrike does hit, so Skeeter down and out. Ace will be very happy with that because Falcons were starting to pull away a bit with this 2K network lead.
Yeah, but that was what I was going to say about this bottom lane is that you have Amar on extreme comfort, and then at the same time, I feel like Mickey Lina is not a hero-player combination that I know he can play it. It's not that, but that is not in his like absolute elite wheelhouse, and this definitely seems like an afterthought that they put him on it. So you combine the fact that he's playing that, Amar is on his Razor, and you're laning into Bounty Hunter with Boxy playing in the safe lane as well, which is also a little bit unusual for the Liquid side. So there's a lot of like individual elements out of the ordinary for them, and it can compound sometimes. I think on paper this bottom lane doesn't go this bad.
Tornado with the Meteor on top of Malrine, but he has the haste so he can run around. It's the Fissure, Snake King, not going to do too much. Did have to TP though.
Amar's game is insane, actually. He's doubling up Mickey at 8 minutes.
Oh, that's
Is
dirty.
this for real?
Wow.
It's 4,600. Venus 2,400.
Let me look at that Dota Plus.
I mean, this genuinely just can't. Yeah. By the way, here's
Wow.
the ability if you.
Wow.
I don't know about that, but
It hasn't been wrong yet since we've asked.
your sample size is 1 game.
No, it's been 2 now.
Hey, the other game it was bugged and said 100% from the beginning.
And it was
right.
correct.
It was right.
That's right. Don't question these things.
Yep. Okay.
Brit's going to get a courier kill. Another benefit of having the Bounty Hunter. Of course, we've seen it time and time again in this tournament.
Yeah, I do think it did deliver its stuff to Boxy though, so it does have a dust. But yeah, crit being super annoying.
I mean, what else? I'm not saying it hasn't worked yet, as we're going to see the Spirit Breaker with the Laguna Blade. Amar is there with the Plasma Field and the Static Link, attempting to TP his Lina. Not going to happen. Mickey dead. Looks like the Spirit Breaker does successfully TP out, but still the bigger kill going the way of Falcons.
I would actually love to see a replay of that. I think Boxy survived by like 1 frame because the arrow just narrowly hit Lina before she died.
Amar goes through the Fiend's Gate and greets Ace as a result. Using his own spell against him. He's getting charged from pretty far away as Ace kind of resigned to his death now. Plasma Field will finish the job.
This is such a rare thing to see happen.
Meanwhile, Falcons keeping the pressure on in this mid lane. Yeah, this is high action for sure. What we love to see.
4K.
And I feel like a lot of this is set up just by the fact that they have the Bounty Hunter, which it's interesting because at the beginning of this tournament,
have a
the
look at
replay
this.
here. The Fiend's Gate was
Arrow is
placed and-
coming here. I just hit it. He was going to die to the Razor, right?
Yeah.
And the arrow goes to the Spirit Breaker. So close call, but I mean, they still got the primary prize there.
Oh, this is some good leeching, although they do spot on Boxy with the Sentry.
That's
It's
the
the
fourth
bash as
bash.
well.
Oh
A
my
second bash, all right. Needs all the luck he can get to kill Crit, apparently, who has been owning this game, really. Like I was saying, the Bounty Hunter, it wasn't really here on anybody's radar at the beginning of this tournament. Now we're starting to see a huge resurgence.
Yeah, it's like...
And what are the... what kind of counters do you think people will come up with? Because Spirit Breaker is obviously supposed to be the counter in this game. So far, not working, but of course, we're not at the level 6s yet for Boxy. Oh, I say that, he just hits level 6 now. Does he not skill his ult at 6?
I would say historically
He's
there's
holding it.
like 3 ways Bounty Hunter, whenever he's been in the, let's say the active pool, if you will, where he's a big part of the tournament, there's been 3 ways of mostly approaching this hero. One is the Spirit Breaker style, where you have 1 or 2 designated Bounty Hunter killers that just have extremely good ways of hunting him down. The other one is to play heavy 5-man, so Bounty Hunter can't skirmish and get track kills.
Yeah.
But Dota has changed a lot since then, so I don't really consider that a counter per se. And the third one is just deathballing, right? which I would say you could say overlaps a little bit with the second one, but you could play team fight without having push.
Moonlight Shadow.
But no teams are heavy pushing and winning in 25 minutes either. It's a lot of conditions that are good for Bounty.
The downside of having Moonlight Shadow in this game is they're already going to have so much vision for the Bounty Hunter. You might not get full value. Mickey continuing to get hounded by crit, though. He's leeching this XP, getting closer and closer to that level 6. And, I mean, he is the lowest level in the game right now, but he's been the MVP, I would argue, as well. As Mallory now has... okay, the Sunstrike just clipped Snaking. Nicely done. Right on the tail of the Mount. But yeah, Blink Dagger is revealed already from Mallory.
Back paw, but I guess that's enough to kill...
Yeah, what's the hitboxes on Mirana's Mount? I don't know.
It's very close to being a miss, but doesn't matter. It's full damage no matter where you hit, unlike with an AWP.
That's true.
That would have been a leg shot in CS. That would not have been.
Original CS leg shot still killed.
Did they actually?
The OGs out there, shout out to you guys.
That's why you were good at that.
I just hit them in the toes every time. And this tier 1 tower actually taking pretty heavy damage from Liquid. It can be denied, though, now from Falcons if they choose. Malrine in the cover of the smoke crit. He's going to be taken out first, but it will be a trade, it seems, so support for support. Even Amar making his way over. Not really getting too much out of it, though.
Yeah, curious to see his build this game. Like I said, offlane Razor, this might be... if it has been picked before in this tournament, I want to say it's been once.
So far, it's casual Yasha into eventual BKB.
Yeah, pretty standard for him.
God Strength pop, so some farm for Skeeter in the enemy triangle.
Stealing away a double stack from... most likely Nisha was going to take that one.
Crit really needs to hit level 6 here. This is a little bit too active, maybe.
It's fine. He's done his job.
Oh, absolutely.
So
he's going to hit this 14-minute mark. Wisdoms will be up soon. It looks like, based on positioning, that it'll just be trades on each respective side. Meteor Hammer online for Nisha with the Boots of Travel, so he's farming quite well. But so you can see the separation with the Razor and the Sven for Falcons.
I mean, the vast majority of this lead is the bottom lane, right? That's what's so surprising to me is that Amar is 3k ahead of the Lina still. When I said I like Liquid's lineup a lot in this game, it was obviously under the condition that the lanes go according to expectation, and I'm sure they would agree themselves that this bottom lane has just been a miss this game. Maybe it is just a lot harder than you would think, because they obviously chose it too, right? That's what's worth remembering. They knew this was coming. They knew it was going to be Bounty Razor offlane when they saw the draft.
Oh, Skeeter is actually running right into Liquid's potential gank here. Smoke. Do they have vision?
Oh, doesn't look like it.
No.
That would have been a big find.
Soon, Nisha shows up. Yeah, a little bit too far away now. Very close call, actually. Smoke's still active, but they won't get much out of it.
Probably worried about initiating on the Sven here with the amount of damage that they have. The kill will be so slow that if there's any backup nearby, combined with tier 1 TPs.
Skeeter's going for a Blink Dagger, which will align with the BKB on Amar. And
they have the same net worth.
Yeah, it's absurd. And Malrine about to finish his Boots of Travel. So they're going to be aligning some pretty juicy items for Falcons. And with the track online, you'd expect them to look for some fights here pretty soon. And for Liquid, what do we have coming? Because the big story is Mickey just off to an abysmal start.
Yeah.
That's Brown Boots Maelstrom.
I think his hero will just struggle to get involved until he gets Pike. There's just way too many pitfalls. You get caught by any of the stuns, you just die. You're playing without saves until Rubik has Shard, which it looks like is not on the early menu for Tofu. He's going for an Essence Distiller first. Yeah, not much to rely on in that regard.
At the very least, Ace is farming quite well. He's getting close to that Aghanim Scepter, so he'll have that global presence.
Also, a fun little detail here, if you look at Foxy's inventory on the Spirit Breaker, I haven't seen this much this tournament, running double Raindrop. This was actually changed in the most recent patch, that if you have 2 Raindrops in your inventory, they proc 1 at a time. Just to always proc both at once. Crit will die here. A little bit of Nisha combo. So when I heard about that, I was like, there's actually a handful of heroes that could be useful on. It's really cheap mana regen plus the spell block. If you have the inventory slots for it, and you don't want to do a Sage Mask build-up, which Spirit Breaker doesn't really, it's kind of cool to see it here.
Yeah, that seems pretty strong.
Boxy. And I mean, there's some questions about whether it was intended behavior. I think it wasn't even documented in the changelog, if I'm not mistaken. They suddenly
Could be a bug, is what you're saying.
It could be
Okay.
that they don't share.
They spot Amar. The Ags is now online for Underlord. And Crit might be the one spotted. Takes a full plasma field. Amar very close to the BKB, so definitely doesn't want to fight quite yet. As Skeeter and Snake are going to use
big
Blind
find.
Shadow. Nice tornado though from Nisha. And there's the Fiend's Gate onto Skeeter. Will have to scurry away. The arrow does hit the Invoker, but the action comes in from Liquid. Look at the damage right on top of that Sven. Absolute punishment as Liquid finally getting something going for themselves.
How did Nisha actually see them there? He reacted instantaneously to that blink stun Sven. I thought the vision advantage was in Falcon's favor there.
He's still a young kid. He's still 25. That's a youngster.
Turned out he's only 25.
You were shocked. Like, I thought he was 40 years old. My goodness.
I was like, I thought Nisha played in 2014. I was like, I did the math. He would have been 13.
He started in diapers, didn't you know?
Apparently he played.
True prodigy.
He played his first pro games in like 2017, 2018. So the more you know. Nice play from Liquid though, setting that up. That was a huge counter play. It's about half the lead for Falcons gone in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, but they will have these items coming in pretty shortly.
Yeah, Amar's BKB is complete. He's not going to go for the Manta into Lincoln. So pretty standard Amar build once again. Wondered if he was going to consider Sanjin Yasha here, but probably thinks the Manta just has too much value against Pit of Malice in particular.
Yeah, for sure. Lincoln's is interesting. Is that mainly just for the Spirit Breaker?
It's also just a feels-good item on Razor. A lot of the times, this hero is just about stick on a target and make the enemy team waste as much as possible on you. But yeah, against Spirit Breaker, it's a double whammy against Lina as well.
Full snap into the tornado with the meteor, but here's a counteraction from Malrina coming to get it. The Echo Slam onto Nisha will run away shortly after. Starts out as a 1-for-1. Sunstrike does hit Amar BKB. Foxy, the Bash God, helps get the double kill for Mickey, who desperately needed something to go his way to get back into this game. And just like that, he's fourth in net worth after being the bottom of the cores not too long ago.
Foxy's high rolling this game. There's been a couple of crucial bashes in the right moment. That one, I would say, straight up necessary for that kill, but Mickey...
Not over yet. That is a track kill onto Mickey. He thought he could get away with just getting a kill or two here and there. But back down to the bottom of the net worth of the cores, just like that. With one death. That's how close it is right now.
At the very least, Nisha is catching up in a big way here. 4-0-5 on the Invoker, almost top net worth now. And how many games have we seen Nisha on this hero just destroy late game? There's a handful of heroes where I think Liquid feel very confident going late, even if their other cores aren't doing too hot. I think Invoker, I think Puck, Ember, you know, Storm occasionally. Nisha can just take over games. And they'll find an opening on Skeeter. No BKB yet.
Using the Fiend's Gate to get a little bit of extra move speed here onto Skeeter. We'll get the kill. Was not truly global, but a kill is a kill, and it's a big one again for Liquid. I mean, in terms of pacing, which team is happier right now, would you say? Let's get into the late game discussion here.
I would say, considering what happened in the last few minutes, I think Liquid should be feeling really good about this.
Boxy, you say that.
Not about this.
The typical caster curse from Cinderin.
The game state is good. That kill is largely inconsequential. He got the Arcane Rune. It's honestly quite fine. Taking that away from Malrine. But yeah, just getting a breather, because this was one of those games where things could have gone out of hand real fast. Like, you're down 5k out of the laning stage against Bounty Hunter. We've seen the game like Vision yesterday, game 3, the game just felt over real fast. And Liquid have more than a fighting chance here. Connecting on crit, it's going to steal Shadow Walk. That's going to be another stun.
Absolutely, but Malrine jumps right back in onto Token. It's going to be a track kill. Amar comes in as well. It'll be a trade of supports yet again, but Mickey in a lot of trouble versus this Razor. No chance at all. Double kill for Amar, and Nisha taking quite a bit of damage in turn. Looks like he'll be able to walk away. And something we didn't really talk about, and the panel brought it up briefly, but on paper, this is an insane Rubik game, as it looks like the Tormentor will go the way of Falcon.
It is, but it also requires net worth. And the way Liquid plays.
Oh, Fiend's Gate after the fact. They've already gotten the Tormentor. The charge comes in from Boxing. The Firestorm to follow. Another Pit of Malice right on top of this spin as Nisha's there with the Deafening Blast and the Meteor. It's enough to take him out. Nisha now another Tornado, keeping the Earthshaker at bay. Boxing desperately trying to get through the Fiend's Gate, and he does successfully keep the attempt. Malrine, the Echo Slam, the last moment to cancel it out, beats him into oblivion. Tofu steals the Echo Slam. No kill to come from it. But he will get away safely, it seems, as Falcons are a little bit too low. As the charge is continuing on, but a little bit too far away to connect.
That was really, really close.
And Rubik makes these fights hilarious. Such an awesome hero.
That's what I'm saying. If Tofu gets the net worth, this could get very interesting, but the way Liquid usually plays, Tofu doesn't necessarily take so much space, and in this game, he kind of has to. His 4 is a Spirit Breaker. He's not going to farm much. And there's just too much value in getting items on Rubik here. Fissure is a semi-reliable steal. Track is great to have. Even if you have the Shard Shadow Walk, I assume would be pretty nice too.
Yeah, for sure. That's like a range stun for Lina, effectively.
I do believe you steal both abilities when you steal Shadow Walk from Bounty. I'm not positive.
What do you mean by both? Oh, right.
Maybe you have to...
I think you would.
I think maybe you have to steal when he casts Friendly Shadow specifically. I actually don't know that for a fact. But, I mean, there's other great steals. Moonlight Shadow, Stormhammer is amazing.
Plasma Field.
Plasma Field's decent, but yeah, you mostly want stuns. So your Lina and Invoker can just stand and deliver with all of their massive output.
Well, if you steal Plasma Field, you can just farm.
That's true.
And you can get your items you've been talking about. And Mar working on the Lincoln Sphere that we talked about. Malrine on Earthshaker has the Blink Kaya with the Boots of Travel. Looks like he'll finish off the Yasha.
Yasha, yeah. Feels good item on this hero.
What do you buy after that on Earthshaker?
I think you buy a BKB this game. You want to have the...
All right, give me a better answer after that then.
You want Refresher, I'm sure.
Hell yeah.
Octarine is also very good.
Okay.
If you go BKB, there is a world where you can consider Aghanims, because this is going to be a game with a lot of movement. He is queuing up BKB now, so I think that's going to be telling after this.
Rain going to be found immediately. Fiend's Gate again. Arrows trying to get some space. Not going to hit though. Is Tofu. In the midst of all of this, as Ace gets another Pit of Malice onto 2 heroes. Skeeter and his God Strength. They find Nisha all alone. Double kill for Amar. Ace desperately trying to get through his Fiend's Gate again. He regrets his decisions. Stun locks are there. Liquid lose 3. Falcons nada. And this could be Roche.
Is real bad for Liquid. A bad place to fight, outnumbered, and you lose the Roche immediately after. And this is going to start eclipsing a 5-digit gold lead now for the Falcons side. All 3 top 4s on their team. Not often we see Shaker in this position. Like we've had the hero picked a couple of times as a core, but he tends to not really get to shine. But Malrine on these melee mids, man. That was a lot of M's.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Pick up the haste rune now. And they're also going to take the mid tower. And this was largely on Liquid's initiative. That's what makes that extra bad. It wasn't like they were getting jumped. They were trying to go on Malrine, and the counterplay was just immediate out of Falcon. Mickey, a recipe away from BKB, a pipe dream to get to have impact in this game. It's been very quiet from him. I say that he's 5-5, which I think is actually kind of impressive given how much he's been run over.
He definitely made a bit of a
not
comeback.
Not the carry scoreline you're looking for, regardless.
It's funny when I think of Amar, I think of Mars, obviously, but that hero obviously doesn't exist since even Amar's not picking him.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think Crystallis and Amar are the only 2 people that reliably will pick Razor, regardless of meta, which is pretty cool to see. All right, old school Razor was kind of just an anti-carry. I mean, it still is to a degree, but you don't have to play this position 1, which Amar has shown time and time again. Well, I guess it depends on your perspective.
Yeah.
If he's actually playing position 1 from the off lane.
What position is he in this game, really?
I mean, that's why he's such a great person to have on fantasy, you know? Plays position 1, or plays position 3 as 1.
Yeah, but you pick them as a carry. So in those games, you have Skitter.
Oh, yeah.
And when Amar is playing 1, Skitter is playing 3. You don't get both ones.
That's
If you
unfortunate.
could pick individual carry and individual offlane and they didn't have to be from the same team, I think Amar would be a really high value pick, and then you pick a carry from another team.
Yes, that's right.
But yeah, it's one of the very unique things about Falcons that they have a carry that can play very selfless, but there's also been games, this tournament's a great example of it, where Skater has just hard carried on a hero like Terrorblade. They can have it both ways, and a lot of teams don't really have that luxury, so it's pretty cool. And
They've
this
been
game
leaning on that a little bit more lately too, I would say.
Yeah.
Ramar plays more traditional than we're used to seeing. He will show off his Manta here, pressuring the tier 2 tower. Aegis for 3 minutes. Crit is found. Essence Distiller, Dust, and Meteor. Nice meatball to consume for you.
There's always something funny about when they die from just the immediate connection of the Meteor. Just bonk. He's gonna lose the tower though. Amar will use the space, finish this off. Looking for a Pike next to go with his other utility items. Makes a ton of sense here. I think his job in this game is just ruin Lina. If he can mess up every fight for mid-game, Falcons are just going to win the game. Like, I think it's actually that simple. So he's going to buy all the items that give him mobility and tankiness, and then he's just going to run at the Lina, link her. If she wants to pike away, he's going to pike on top of her. And yeah, just ruin her fight.
Yeah, well, the Hurricane Pike is supposed to do something about that.
Yeah, but
We'll see.
when you have the pike and she has the pike, who does it first?
Very true.
Who does it better? And even if she does break the static link, maybe her position is just pretty compromised then, right? Like or at least she definitely gets away from the fight a lot.
Poke from Falcons.
They want to try to
Might be the one they open up on. Fissure to block him off with the God Strength initiation. Arrow does hit easy
That
kill.
is an interesting BKB from Skater. Just wanted to see if it still works. It does.
Right. Well, they're going to get the extra time on the Foxy. He's going to get to the other side of the wall, but it doesn't matter. Amar is there, as well as Skeeter's last right click. So they find the 2. As Tofu spotted on the other side of the map. Falcons are so aggressive. Arrow will be dodged. Here's the Yules. So actually, that was an offensive Yule. Still tracked up, so still have the vision.
Oh,
Mickey, he comes in to try to help, apparently. Nisha's there, though, as well. They're going to try to fight this out 2 versus 5, potentially. They kill off the bounty. No, I say that. The Lotus saves him. Crit is still wanting to die, apparently. Gets off the track, and now Malrain jumps in, destroys Nisha. Double kill for Snay. And Mickey, the last remaining member, attempting to TP out. He will.
Okay, well,
But heavy casualties from Liquid.
help a friend syndrome there. Could have just cut Tofu. Instead, you also lose your Invoker. Now, if you had to do maybe your Lina, you lose your mid tower, which you probably could have defended with Invoker. This is just bad, going worse and worse for Liquid. A very one-sided affair. And I think yesterday, also a rather disappointing showing from Liquid. Obviously, the game 1 felt like one they should have taken the win in against Yandex. Game 2, they kind of got rolled. Doesn't seem like they've made the right adjustments, at least heading into game 1 today. It would be a huge shame for them to, you know, you play the group stage, you go 4-1, go to the main event, lose 4 games in a row.
Yeah.
And that's it?
I mean, we've seen it before, though.
Yeah,
Even with different formats.
Yeah.
And
Not a lot of people would have expected it, though.
I mean, it's an old adage. We bring it up all the time. The more you lose, the more you learn, Cinderin. You just get by barely.
Well, they've lost 3 in a row if this one is a loss, so it's time to learn and learn quick.
They have the time, though, is the question.
And most importantly, what's the win expectancy here? 6%?
Quota plus, huh?
Believe in Liquid to win 1 in 20 times here.
I mean, I wouldn't say this is 100% for sure.
No, it's not. You can, you know, late game Invoker with Underlord. Lina on the high ground defending. Stuff can happen.
As we always say, high ground is very difficult.
The thing that does not inspire a lot of confidence in me is I feel like the way in which Liquid are losing fights is a little bit worrisome. I think they're just not on their A game with their decision making primarily. The spellcasting is fine, but they're just selecting fights that I would argue they just shouldn't take.
Nisha,
They will.
land right on top of him. Nowhere to go. Complete stun lock. Snaking just racking up the kills on this support. Mirana has 7. He's leading everybody. He's tied with Amar with kills in this game. And on the other side, again, if somebody dies on one side, just expect to die on the other. And Skeeter just brings Ace to an end. Falcons just dominating this game number 1. And they're not done yet. Moonlight Shadow still active. They get the Yule's initiation. arrow is going to be tanked by the cow, but he's just going to get beat down by the Sven. As two last remaining members of Liquid will barely get back to base. They had to expend a BKB for Mickey as well. And this is likely to be some building. Despite there not being an Aegis, Falcon still keeping it extremely aggressive. I mean, are you a little bit surprised by that? Because they're notorious for just chilling with the lead.
I think
Is it specifically this lineup?
if you have a bounty hunter in your team, he's gonna make you look for kills. He will coordinate moves.
So that's what they've been missing all this time, huh?
Just needed crit on the bounty.
I mean, I feel like this hero in general is going to start getting maybe first phase banned. I don't know how you feel.
I think so too. The responses that we've seen just haven't really worked there. So
This is your favorite shard in the game, right, for Nisha?
Very cool. Just walk through the creep wave and it dies. A lot of fans of that Ghost Walk out there.
I think there are. I would enjoy this myself. Marlink is going to be popped into the charge, into the runaway.
Yeah, I mean, they can't really chase him down. They don't know where anyone else is.
They will smoke, though. I mean, they have to try
This is
something.
a Hail Mary. If this fails, I think they're just going to tap out. So better find the right target. Although find crit.
Crit is a target. Sven is another inside the Pit of Malice. Here's the damage rune, though. Laguna Blade comes out.
Mickey.
Already the cow is dead. Mickey drops as well. The buyback instantly from Mickey to try to come back into this fight. Ace completely isolated now. Nowhere to go. They get the track at the last moment. It will be reflected, but it matters not. Just kill after kill, and they're all... Ooh, okay, nice fissure from Malrine.
God, there's something
So
most
many
satisfying about that innate, the slugger.
Yeah, it's-
When you kill people with fissure and just send them packing. Oh, man.
Skeeter will get a shard from the Tormentor.
1K gold per minute lead for Falcons. I was going to say they don't lose these. Nobody loses these,
Okay.
as a matter of fact.
Let's see if that's true. Dota Plus win probability on the screen, please. Let's make sure that that is accurate information.
98 to
2.
Yeah.
Okay. It's possible then.
It's the
That's what
Invoker.
you're saying.
Invoker hits a wombo combo factor, or Mickey gets to play the game factor as well. It's still been a tall order for him to really get into fights at all. I believe we have a listen in with one of the teams from the previous fight.
Like they still need to play on Discard running in and Blink bursting and BKBs. So I feel like if we can drag them in a bit, if they don't finish us off, I think fight's easy after BKB. But we need to fight under vision or the jump is too good.
Yeah, good luck.
It's true though. They have to fight in their own vision and they have to survive the first 3 seconds, which has not been the case so far. But
Falcons have had the upper hand.
I mean, this is pro level though. This is the type of communication you're going to have in moments like these. Obviously, Liquid know that they're in big trouble, but you have to look for the one win condition that you have, which is borderline impossible to obtain. But that is exactly what Tofu was saying there. We need to play under vision. We need to survive the BKBs, because if they do that, all of a sudden, Underlord, Invoker, and Lina's net worth becomes really powerful. But while BKBs are running, they don't stand a chance. Like, they just can't kill a single hero. Look at Amar's inventory. 4,000 HP Satanic Manta Lincolns. He went away from the Pike idea and just beefed up even further. And now he's going for his classic Refractor.
Beef back on the menu. Skeeter.
Another track kill.
Get a nice burger out of that. Tofu with a very soothing voice, I might add.
Yep.
It's a nice person to have on your team. Always very positive, even in games like this where you guys are struggling big time. Amar spots Mickey. Just wanted to let
Wait,
him
my
know,
item is
hey, I
bugged?
was here the whole time,
Why
buddy.
is my item not bugged so I can jump over the wall? It was a cute
Is that
attempt.
still the shard?
He genuinely might have never tried to do that before.
Oh, that's sad. They got rid of that shard, huh? The walk the dog shard.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, I don't blame you for not remembering the Shard of Razor. Just barely see the hero. It's been a while. It's always cool on the main stage when a team just runs, you know, some of their vintage stuff.
Are they actually going to try to
There is literally no shot.
go through it, Amar? I dare you. Go through it.
He's taking the gate.
Yeah, that was just a scouting thing, I suppose. And it'll be a free roach for Falcons in the end. Take the Aegis into the Fiend's Gate. Get know where it is. Actually, would have been not too bad.
Oh, not again.
Go slam.
Oh,
Falcon
there's the
Mickey.
shard.
Oh,
Okay.
Tofu keeping Mickey out of harm's way.
Keeping him out of Death's way, I guess.
Peter
He has the harpoon.
does. Nisha is going to get storm hammered, but pops the BKB TP, the Nightfall. Shout out to Gork.
Okay.
The OG of that, apparently. I learned that today.
Oh, really? He called it the Nightfall.
Yeah. Gotta
Huh.
give credit where credit is due, you know?
I don't know that.
Reminder, Aghanim Scepter for Snake King now. He is so farmed. My goodness. He has Solar Crest, drums, Force Staff, and now a full Axe. What would you, when you were playing, which was a decade ago at this point, you saw somebody's farm like this on a position 4 or 5. What would you think?
It didn't exist. You couldn't. So it's,
You'd be cheating back then, right?
it's like it's an interesting comparison because I mean the amount of items that Snaking has now is what you would have on a carry.
Yeah.
roughly. In terms of raw net worth, 16,000 net worth at 37 minutes would be, I would say, probably an average carry game 10 years ago, or at least an average off-lane game. So his farm is just a lot has changed. It's a different game. But if somebody was super farmed and a support position is in your team, I mean, what's not to love? Just feel super confident. You're like, okay, we have 4 cores.
Right. If you go farther back in time as a support, you buy Divine Rapier, you die, give it to your teammate. That was actually an old strat. Moonlight Shadow from Falcons, 3 minutes on the Aegis. They would love to get a pickoff into the eventual push. The Snake King's going to get initiated on by Foxy. Finally, they get the jump this time. Laguna Blade, it's still not quite enough. Finally, the right clicks come through. But Underlord is the trade. Oh, boy. So even when the trades come through, not in favor of Liquid. Well, I say that. Who has higher net worth? We're about the same. Which is
Full foot
crazy.
tornado, that was really important.
And Alexei on the 2 here, but Mallory with a counter initiation with the Echoes and right on top of the leader. Isn't enough damage. Another one comes down. He's dead. Does have buyback if he wants to expend it here. And he will do exactly that. Mallory and company now chasing Nisha. Pops the Shiva. Zamar thinking twice about it. Still has that Aegis though. And Skeeter, his God Strength has run out. Charge onto 2 from Boxy. Stormhammer for his efforts into the Harpoon as well. Getting slowed quite a bit. We'll get to the other side though as a Static Link will not blink for too long for Amar. Not super strong at the moment.
And
Like Falcons reset.
Malrine is such a treat to watch on Shaker. He's just a beast. 4-0 and 18 so far. Been in 22 of the 30 kills. Perfect chaining of stuns there. Didn't give them a chance to protect Mickey whatsoever. And I believe that was the refresher reveal.
Yeah.
I don't know if Liquid even saw that he picked it up until this point, but
They know now.
I know.
One would hope.
And also now with the level 25 talent, lower cooldown Enchant Totem, down to 3.5. He buys Octarine at sub 3.
Then Axe becomes real good,
Yep.
in theory.
Even without it, it's still really, really nice. Just have such a low cooldown on Chain Stunning. And it travels 2 onto Skitter.
They're still keeping up the 1K per minute lead.
Yeah.
That is absurd.
This is very rare. Even in stomps for this tournament, this is rare.
This is a stomp with a bounty. We haven't seen a stomp with a bounty yet. This is what it looks like, apparently. Because usually it's relatively close or even bounties behind at the start.
I think yesterday, game 3 with Vision was also, but they didn't get to this point. Like the game was over at 30, but they also didn't have as much GPM lead as there is now, even in that game. So, yeah, pretty crazy. I'm just trying to think of what the saving grace is here for Liquid, like what you can possibly buy to
I
solve
think
the
that
problem.
might be game 2 is the saving grace.
You have to buy damage. Like I think the biggest problem here is that you on one hand you just get chain stunned to death, but on the other, if you get a good initiation, do you even have what it takes to kill a 4.4k HP Sven or Razor? I suppose if you chain stun them and hit everything, then maybe. But there's a Blink 4-staff Bounty Hunter that's always going to be able to offer some help. Mirana has Leap 4-staff.
I mean, we did see a nice comeback today with Boom Boys. Obviously, it was not a 42k deficit, mind you.
Yeah.
It did involve taking Roche, even though they were behind, which I thought was an excellent play. And then they took a fight with it, and they ended up winning, and that ended up snowballing them to the eventual game victory, and the series victory. But yeah, 43k is a different story, I would say.
Nisha. Doing Invoker things. Currently sitting at 3 levels below the enemy position 5.
And we can talk about the 25 talents.
Snaking on the Mirana is same level as the enemy carry.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's getting up there. That's why I brought up the talents. I want to see what his 25
I think it's taking
will be.
multi-shot every.
Yeah, it is the one we see every single
It is
time.
so good.
I bet it's like a 9. It's got to be like 98% of games.
Yeah,
Surely. God strength. Okay, double tap on the token.
Well,
bye. Mickey gets to the other side of the wall.
And another.
Trouble. Fiendskate's going to try to slow them a bit. Nice deafening blast into a couple of heroes. Sunstrike will miss. Crit on the enemy base will blink out. I mean, it's still kind of annoying to go high ground against this Underlord.
Yep, and they do not have their Aegis now.
You have Roche banner though.
Yep.
And, I mean, at this point, it's 2 minutes from when Roche could spawn. You probably wait for the next Roche. And then you have double banner. Then you can take at least 2 sets of barracks without too much worry, I would think. Nisha, no, he's here.
No.
Vision, no.
Mars is too far.
He's not going to hit this time.
Yeah, so effectively, Liquid have, I want to say, oh, nice. Tofu actually drew it. This is the part of the map that we control, is what he drew on the minimap. Yeah, about 10% of the map is probably under Liquid's
You
control
can
right
see,
now.
I think Boxy's circling the lower sides. Like, what about this?
What if we took this next 3%? Then we would have 13%. And Tofu's like, yeah, guys, if you want to come back to this game, I think we need more than 10% of the map. And it all starts with Vision, and hopefully for them not dying on Nisha. All right, you'll be okay. Maybe TP out the Gork.
Yeah, we can start calling it the Gork, I guess. Sure, why not? It's a travel now for Amar. I'm not sure where else you go with this hero. I feel like... And it's only 43 minutes in.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ags, I suppose.
Swift Blink is generally very good. You could maybe swap that for Refresher. So like ult, refresh, ult, blink in.
I mean, I would expect Refresher to... I mean, they're going to get Refresher Shard with this next Roche, and I would expect Skeeter to probably take that.
Yeah.
Because the downside of Sven is maybe you get a support kill with God's Strength, and then you get pushed out, and then it just runs out, and you can't really do much.
That's the multi-shot arrow now for snaking.
Yeah, this is...
You can fish for stuns on heroes. You could also just farm the entire map because your arrows all do Starstorm.
We need to do a tier list of 25 talent. This has to be top 5.
It's
right?
so good.
Would you say just right off the bat it's top 5?
It's really, really good. Because when you get to this point in the late game, a lot of the time what ends up deciding games when Mirana hits 25 is do you find that big arrow? And it just, you get so much vision, you get so much damage, and you have a dead script. Oh, maybe not.
Echo Slam Jamma, not happening. Malrine, stop.
Never mind.
Nobody saw it. Just
Never mind.
everybody watching the International right now. No big deal.
Great bait from Boxy there. That's one Echo Slam down.
That's just another form of taunt from Malrine. He's like, it's 48k lead, guys.
I don't even need this.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's too bad you can't tip yourself. I think he would have there.
Yeah.
I think it's just the way for the rush. So 20 seconds away from that.
Didn't see it on the camera shot there. The admin in the Falcons booth was looking at his watch. A little bit like,
This is their standard now.
Yeah.
Usually it's when they get to like 5k lead early on. They slow it down and they just expand their lead slowly. But this one, they had to get 40k first and then halt the brakes. You know, like, wait a second. This isn't the Falcons' way. We got to get multiple Roches.
oh, pardon me, it was in the Liquid booth. Well, that changes everything.
Oh, okay. Malrine. Cover of Moonlight Shadow. Link from Red. Nisha's going to show himself. He's going to get Platinum filled with the Static Link as well. That Fissure stunning too. Still getting Static Link though as Nisha is getting everything drained from him. Mika will have to pop the BKB. Now it's a 50k lead for Falcons. Malrine.
Well, that was riveting, says Snaking. Let me go to the jungle with my Sacred Arrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's time for...
I mean, that could have been the end of the game, but Malrine didn't have Echo Slam, as we all saw why that was.
Gentlemen, let us acquire more wealth.
Yes. Delicious treats from Roche.
I need a savage car, another automobile.
This one will come with a second life. That's a pretty damn good seatbelt.
That's something you can't buy.
No, tell the billionaires that.
Well, they haven't found a way yet, as far as I'm concerned.
We'll see. I'm sure there's something. They freeze themselves sometimes.
Occasionally.
Occasionally they freeze.
So we're just leaving the goodies in the pit now, huh? Oh, okay, we're sending out a courier. No space for it. Just these pesky cheeses and banners.
Yeah, double banner's pretty nice.
The Squire will carry this.
Yeah, the Echo Malrine uses Refresher, Stun Lock for days, Nisha dead for 80.
That's without buyback.
Indeed.
And that is 70 nice minutes for Snaking.
Do you think Falcons go back to farming now? Is that the play?
Think or hope.
Do you think they want to get to a 100K network lead? Is that the play?
This team likes setting records, doesn't it?
True. Roche banner place. It looks like they want to push. As a result, Pit of Malice covers the entire screen at this point. Peter waiting on the outskirts. BKB from Mickey wants to kill off the Roche banner. Will do so. They have another one though.
That wasn't too
If they want to use it, that is. Peter, God Strength jumps in onto Mickey with the harpoon.
Yeah.
Pit him out. Nice telekinesis save him though. Just put that work to the building.
Arrow
Instead, they want to go for Ace. Being half health from that arrow. Fortification still online, trying to buy some time for Invoker to come back. 30 seconds. They put the Roche banner again. There's a jumper from Skeeter yet again with the plastic field to follow. Ace getting drained. Lotus Orb's going to fly, but will drop to the deck. Does have buyback this time. It's going to be one lane for sure. As the lead expands to 57K. Falcons. Do you want to wait for the next Roche? You only have 3 minutes on this Aegis. Maybe the next Roche is a little safer.
I was about to say you'd love to see it, but do you?
Look at them. Just waiting for somebody to farm this up in the top lane.
It is. We are approaching that point when Snaking is actually overtaking the enemy carry. So that would be pretty funny. He's only 1,000 now behind Mickey on this Mirana. He's about to finish a Wind Waker.
I mean, I understand it from his perspective. He's a support. He loves these late game situations. You actually get to play true late game Dota as a carry. He used Dread Leondes pops, but Malrine jumps in with the boots of travel. They're able to kill off the bounty hunter, but now he's going to get completely decimated. It's not the force up the other side, but a nice fissure blocking him in. Mickey stuck in a horrific spot. A lot of damage to Stan Skeeter actually will fall to that fight number one. Needed the Aegis after all. Malrine with a 3-man enchant totem will beat Lina to death. And now Nisha will bite the dust as well. They do have buybacks onto a couple of these cores, but Liquid still losing this fight. It's a 62K network lead now for Falcons.
I think you could argue that Liquid played that better, but they can't beat the numbers.
No, big
It's
numbers
just
will prevail.
good fighting. An uphill battle.
Jumping again, Lina. Telekinesis with the force that's back into the fountain. Skeeter not confident enough going to the fountain. They need a 100K network lead to do just that. Skeeter getting back now into the trees. Gonna be stuck inside the ice wall. Able to get the force staff away though. As Falcons resetting, realizing they can't handle this. Wait for Roche number 10 at this point. Foxy. All right, they get an arrow onto Lina.
All right, here comes a bar.
They do realize they can hit buildings at this point, which is shocking development because they won TI last year. You'd think they would have known this already. Nisha gonna get the Hex. All right, now the damage is coming for the Earthquake. LSA is gonna hit as well. Mickey trying to do some damage, but
Not enough.
they just still so far away, and they will not even get the second set of barracks, it seems. Falcons will run away with their 65K network lead, by the way.
That is a great hold from Liquid. I just had to check the win probability here.
Now let's take a look at that.
Currently sitting at 100-0.
Really?
That is a rare sight.
that
I
real?
will say that. That is a very rare sight.
That's awesome.
We have reached a point. Dota Plus has officially lost all faith.
Dota
which
Plus-
would make
Yeah.
the comeback the most legendary in TI history.
I would love to see it.
If Liquid somehow find a way to win this game, that will be unbelievable.
Dota Plus is looking at its watch right now. That's the equivalent.
Now, obviously, this is rounded. I think I have never seen a single pro game being pulled back from 100-0. I have played one singular pub game where it happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have
You had
one.
to look at the replay
And
for
I was like, this is unbelievable. I went and checked it.
Who threw that game?
We won and it was 100 to 0. I was like, there is no way.
That's 1 in a million right there.
That's super
More than
rare.
that, probably.
Well, that's not really how percentages work. But.
That's right, Cinderin. This game has gone on so long that Sven actually has an ag, something we rarely get to see.
yeah,
A treat. The Superman is available for
Toggleable
Peter.
Stormhammer.
He has eaten a moon shard as well. That came before the ags, apparently.
Yeah. I kind of do miss this being a part of the hero's build, but it's very hard to make it not broken and still be good. So, in the way that this works, it's just a hard thing to figure out. Oh, snaking, there he is. He's ahead of. He wants to end the game ahead of Nikkei.
Yeah, that's good.
70,000.
They're not quite at 100K though, so you can
Ace.
have to wait for this Roche, I
Don't
think.
walk forward, young man.
Not so young anymore. Well, compared to us,
One of the
everyone is
older
young.
players in the lobby, but his experience is the best teacher, so he will not walk 2 steps to the right inside his own base. Tofu has yet to draw which part of the map they control now.
I think it's just the fountain at this point.
It's smaller now than before. They will go for another Hail Mary smoke, find
How many Hail Marys do you
absolutely
get in a game?
Yeah.
I feel like we've gotten quite a few.
Yep. Falcons are just waiting for anybody to lose position. If Ace were to cast a Firestorm here, they back it off.
Great timing of the Firestorm. Incredible play from Ace.
Perfect play. Arrows will find their mark. Another wave killed by Snake. 340 CS. If you have this guy in your fantasy this game,
That's true, actually.
well, I guess it depends what banners you have on him as a support. I don't. Can support banners even get creep score? They can, right? Maybe they
I
can.
thought everybody can get the same. You're actually looking at that. That's the sad part about it.
Now they don't. Supports don't have a red banner, and the creep score is red. Right?
Oh, I see.
I think they can't get it.
You are the fantasy expert.
No, I am definitely not.
I mean, I didn't say you're good at it. You're
Oh.
the expert. That's like your co-caster.
Well,
Keep up the good work.
0 for 2.
72. All right, what's the over-under here, Cinder? 100K. Are we going to get there?
Under.
Yeah.
Because they would require Liquid to get team wiped and buy back all their heroes, and they don't have the buybacks. Well, I suppose if they goes late enough, they'll have their buybacks again. Oh, Boxy. That's a gem.
And
Don't
kill.
live. Okay.
73K lead now. He does have the buyback. Mallory gets the stun onto Nisha. Telekinesis saves. Until Mouse coming out as well. Laguna Blade doing absolutely nothing. BK gonna drop it, no from the Sven. And they delete this Nikkei Mina once and for all. No more telekinesis save this time. Amara gets some good damage out. The cow is dead. Absolutely no way to get back in the game. Refreshers pop now. 2 dead for Liquid without buyback. 77K network lead. Hey, Roche might be up in 5 seconds though, Falcons. Let's take it easy here.
Torment.
Play a little discipline. Tormentor's up. Gonna get some extra gold there. Still creeps available to kill in the jungle.
And if we wait until 60 minutes, we'll get the tier 5.
Oh god, everybody needs a tier 5 items, absolutely. Goodness gracious. Like building might be on the menu after all. Nisha has to pop his BKB. Try to hold this 3 versus 5. Might have to give up some buildings.
Crit is literally standing on top of their heroes.
Crit forgot how to move his hero. Understandable in such a very lengthy game. Second set of arrows goes the way of Falcons. I do believe this is going to be megas. I know this is a bold statement.
Yep.
But I do think it's going to happen, Cinderin. Mickey up pretty far, gets fissured, gets arrowed. Amara is there with the right click. Skeeter still going for the building. There's the Superman, but instantly canceled by the Tornado. No buyback though, as Mickey has to stand his ground. Laguna Blade on the right click. Amara right on top with a static click, and now they delete Mickey, finally putting him to an end. No buyback for him. 2 versus 5, Falcons. Is this enough of an advantage to finish the game, or do you want to go for Roche because it's up to 35 seconds? Looks like the tier 4s are on the menu though. As Falcons should surely be able to take game 1 of this best of 3 with an 85K network lead. My goodness, just an absolute shellacking that never ended. Mallory wants 1 more kill for the road. Nisha in the tree line, storm hammered. Ancient exposed, killed off as well. 89K. Can we get to 90 at least before this game ends?
Am I nearing 90?
Let's get this done. Echo Fan comes out. It's stolen from Tofu. Huge play from him. The GG's come out. 89K network lead's about to end. It does not reach 90. Falcons take game number 1. Very close call overall. Honestly, I had fun though. This was a fun game number 1.
I mean, I think they enjoyed themselves too. And
Wait, you mean Falcon?
yeah, probably one team enjoyed
Yeah,
themselves.
probably.
Liquid, gotta commend the mentality to hold on to the bitter end there. That game, realistically speaking, was over for about half an hour, I would say.
Yeah,
At least 20 minutes.
That sounds about
But-
right, yeah.
We've seen crazy comebacks at TI, especially on the main stage when the stakes are high. This was not one of those games where Liquid even got a single winning moment. For the last 40 minutes, I think every single exchange went in Falcon's favor, and they're up 1-0.
Yeah, 1-0, Shiva.
Thank you very much, Tasmana Cinderhead. A 55-minute game with an 89k gold lead for a game that did indeed felt, for the longest time, solidly in the hands of Falcons. I think, Winter, maybe it's an odd mix of respect for Liquid and their ability to still make those plays, and potentially also the respect of being in the lower bracket. The pressure's on. You want to make sure.
Just want to make sure, why do you need
Yeah.
to risk it when you already have all the lead in the world, all the farm in the world?
Yeah.
There's no point for you to risk it, just play it so soft, play it slow. They probably had one of the biggest lead I've ever seen at 40, 45 minutes, even at 50 minutes. That was insane.
Falcons, they're back. All right, they do the thing where they win the early game, and then when they win the early game, they're like, okay, how do we want to do this? Do we want to go for Roshan? Do we want to go high ground? Do we want to destroy the ancient? The whole point of Dota 2. No. We want to build this net worth lead. We want to impress Winter. They are fully back in form if they are able to replicate this again, because my gosh, this was a scary performance from Falcons in game one.
And they did it with the bounty hunter that they stole from yesterday's games. They did it in a very solid way. I think, Rhea, this was the type of Falcons you'd love to see. This was their own style, and they crushed with it.
Yeah, I really love the support play this game. I think the Bounty and the Mirana both did such an excellent job, both with their gameplay and their itemization. We talked in the panel about getting a Yules instead of the Mirana. Actually, it was the Bounty picking that up, and Mirana got 4-star. I know Winter was so happy to point that item out to being so good. But honestly, I feel like on both teams, this game was a game of 4-stars. Every single fight, it's like we're seeing people be repositioned non-stop into getting saved. I think it was way more impactful for Falcons in the early game because it meant that Liquid were never able to cinch out the kills when people got repositioned.
Yeah, and also, this game, Crit was just an absolute pinata. I think Liquid, they weren't seeing much in this game other than trying to just smack Crit as much as possible. 7 deaths to his name. A lot of the highlights was a Spirit Breaker charge into an Underlord ult, and oh wow, we then finally killed Crit. But on the other side of the screen, you've got Skidder getting kills, Marine jumping around, never dying in the game, Amar, 12, 1 and 15. So as much as Crit did tank a lot of that aggression, that was only the aggression that we ever really saw from Liquid, because the rest of the show was Falcons just running throughout the entire map, being so efficient with their farm, and how they just kind of closed it out and just took every objective and what they wanted to do on their terms.
Yeah, I think you can make a case for any player to be the MVP of this game for Falcons, especially because the game went as long as it did. Winter, who would you go for in this situation? And would it be Amar?
I think it has to be either Skitter or Maureen. I think they are the ones that set out a lot of very, very crucial plays, especially with the dagger. They were able to make a lot of space, but of course, in the early game, the Bounty Hunter Crit, he did a lot of work. He secured the lane, and everything just felt it was very, very straightforward. And this Mirana plus Bounty Hunter duo, I think it's probably my favorite duo right now. It has to be the strongest duo, in my opinion, with Bounty Hunter. We've seen Bounty plus Wyvern, but it didn't really feel like it's as strong as the Bounty plus Mirana.
It was an incredibly strong showing, and I'm sure we're going to see it addressed later on in, of course, the second game we're going to see. We've seen a lot of Mirana already throughout the international group stage and main event. Whether we're going to see that again, we don't know yet. But one thing that we will see right about now is Sir Action Slacks.
观众朋友们，大家好！现在我们就在场馆内呢，在我们身后的话也是找到了一群粉丝，我们跟 Slug 一起要跟他们来玩一些 Dota 2的游戏。
Hello, that is right, my friends. We're going to play a little game in the crowd. Welcome, everyone. We are in the crowd here, and we found some folks that do not speak Chinese, correct?
Yeah. Yes. That's fine. 0.
Fantastic. Now, in China, they have some very specific cool nicknames for some heroes, and we gathered some fans here. All right? The contest is They will say a name of a Chinese Dota hero, a nickname. You have to guess what it is. If you get it right, you both get a delicious prize. All right? Are you
没
ready?
错，所以我们这次的话就是会让我们的粉丝来教我们的这个外国朋友怎么来说我们中文英雄的名字。如果他们猜对了这个昵称的话，他们都会得到奖品。
Okay. 我听得懂. Here we go. Are you ready for the first hero?
准备好了吗？
蓝猫
Oh.
是蓝猫，
Lamao. Oh, no cheating here. All right. Well, first guess.
Sven
Sven.
是斯文吗
no
No.
not Sven
All right. What is it actually? What does it mean in English?
？The meaning in English is blue cat.
Blue cat.
Blue cat.
Mirana
No. All right. You are allowed now to do charades. You can charades and act it out for him. Good luck.
来，
Please.
给我们演绎一下蓝猫是怎么样的。
Oh. Oh. All right. Any thought?
again. Can you do it again?
再来一次
Do it again. Do it again. Okay.
See
Oh, come on. He's got a hat. And, oh, you know? Oh, spirit.
Storm Spirit.
Oh, he cast it unbelievably! Such a good storm spirit, I had to say. There we go. Well done. Well done. Okay, your next contestant, please.
我们下一位来，我们下一位走到我们的中间哦。He bring his own ages, man.
Thank you. Thank you. The only Chinese ages will be given out.
Okay.
Answer.
Mm.
It's a very sad answer.
Okay, okay. Who was it? It is very sad. Who is he guessing?
我们来出题。
OK，大屁股。
大屁股。
Okay. Any guesses?
Night
Nyx Assassin.
是四叶刺客吗？
No. What's the English?
Big booty.
Big booty? Big booty like big booty?
We both have it.
Big booty, baby! All right, big booty.
Queen of Pain. Biggest booty?
Biggest booty.
Queen of Pain.
是痛苦女王吗？
No.
Okay. Act it out. Hold the ages. What the heck?
要不要再试一个？要不要再试一个不一样的？
What the? Good luck with this big booty. Okay, what do we have?
Luna.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who was it?
Underlord.
Underlord! I give you the pity ones. All right, good try. I give you a pity one. Okay, last one?
Last one.
Last one. Pick one
最
more.
后一位来到我身边。
All right, this is a group effort, both of you. Okay, let's go. Last one. Fast. We gotta go.
来，直接给我一个名字。斧王。太简单了，换一个。
奶绿。
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 I really don't know.
Act it out.
Act it out. 再换一下。
Oh!
The one.
We're done, baby! Right? Yeah! There we go. There we go. Congratulations. Thank you guys so much. Hope you had some fun. There's some more. Yeah! And back to you guys on the panel.
I do love that you got two options to choose: big booty and you have to Queen of Pain and Luna. Oh, that was a good one. By the way, I also got big booty next to me. It's a big Largo, actually.
Chill. Oh, no, sorry. Anyway, go back.
You got small booties.
How dare you speak of me like that? I do have quite nice sized booties in front of me.
And if you want to get yourself big booty or schmo booties, you can get yourself to the secret shop to get your own Largos. Or, for example, Ray, what you got there?
I got a big ol', you said it's baby Roshan. Baby Roshan.
It's a small booty.
Small Roshan. Roshan of reasonable size. Carryable size. You can take him everywhere. To the park, to the movies.
Wait, do you think that I can't take this one everywhere?
It's quite a size. I have a confession. I may have bought that wonderful plushie, this one, that one, and that one, and I don't have any space in my suitcase. So if
donations are open.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to help me get a new suitcase in China and I need to buy a ticket, would love the assistance.
Or you can get yourself.
I have space. Okay. There we go.
All right, we have got a great series on our hands, of course, that we're going to continue talking about. As Liquid and Falcons, there was one thing in particular that I think already showed us how this game would end. The writing was on the wall, Winter, when we looked at that game, and around minute 9, something awkward happened.
Yeah.
I'm saying awkward.
It's very sad. It's very sad. And our main character, Big Booty, he was involved in some gank that he kind of set up for himself. He was trying to help, Mickey got ganked in the bot lane. He placed the Underlord Ultimate trying to help. I think he's dead. And then he didn't realize Ama came looking for him and he dies also. This is basically the story of the early game. They just had so bad of a start. Both the side lanes just got, especially Lina, just got demolished, and there was no way for you to come back. And when you pick Lina on the safe lane, that hero does not like losing her lane at all. You cannot come back from a bad start, with that hero.
Yeah, we can take a look at the Lina versus Razor, because that was very much the story of the early stages of the game.
Yeah, and coming into the series, we wanted to see Amar have that presence to kind of step up into the game. And of course, here he's already got the Asher BKB. And for Mickey, 4-4-1 scoreline, having Maelstrom and 4 stuff, at 20 minutes into the game, you want to look at your Lina, you want to see BKB, you want to see the Pyke, maybe even the Crystals. You want to see actual items to play around, because you've built an entire lineup where Lina needs to stand in the middle, protected by everyone to do the damage. And I think Falcons did just such an exceptional job just chasing down this Lina, shutting down them up so quickly. And because of Razor having that BKB, you see ranged here, you lock onto them, they will die pretty much every time. They have to TP out. So yeah, just an exceptional draft and really great gameplay from Falcons, putting Mickey into just a really awkward position that we don't often see him in.
Yeah, and I think that BKB that we saw on Amar, Rhea, that's just the beginning of it for Amar.
Yeah, I really liked his item build this game, because we often see him try and be the carry. And I mean, in a way, his item build did let him be a carry, but he's not out here trying to do all the damage by, Daedalus or whatever. This guy went a very nice build that simply allowed him to sustain in fights and live, so he can get off his ult for longer periods of time and get more links, so that Mickey just simply cannot play. This guy had a Linken's, obviously playing as Barra. He had a Satanic, and he had a Refresher. So when he's applying his Eye of the Storm in these fights, it's reducing the armor of all of the enemies around him, allowing his Sven to chunk and do even more damage, including crits, track, damage amplify on top of that. They're able to do so much just by having this Razor in the middle of it, and he's just surviving because he has a BKB, he has a Manta, he has a Linken's, he has a Satanic. How do you kill this guy? You can't. It's impossible.
You ban that guy.
I mean, how often have we seen Razor banned? Very rarely. It is soon time to see what's coming our way in the second game. These two teams both are known for taking series long, not just within the game that we just saw, but also within the series. Going to a game number 3 is in their MO, both if they're winning and if they're losing. So I would not be surprised to see that happening. It is, with this one, Team Liquid with their backs against the wall in this lower bracket, because I don't know if I need to remind you, but it is lower bracket here between these two titans of teams. Team Liquid and Falcons with a 1-up for the defending champions, Team Falcons, and Team Liquid now looking to scramble to get that W on the board in game number 2. And as we nearing the draft for this one, Tigov, what would you like to see different? Because so much fell apart with that laning stage that I don't know how much you can look at the draft and say, you know what, that's where we should have done better.
I feel like, at least for Falcons, because they have so many specialist heroes and that have been forgotten about or not touched recently, it now kind of reminds Liquid, because in the first phase they banned Tree, Earthspirit, Husker. There's the Centaur ban, which again, it's it's hit or miss personally for me. So if you want to utilize hindsight in this scenario, maybe you replace that Centaur ban if the pick order is the same, and then you respect a bounty or a raise or something if you really care that much. So I think the first 3 bans are fine, just the Centaur. But yeah, don't allow Falcons into this ultimate comfort, because when you look at these heroes, this is kind of what Falcons really wants to play if the meta enables it. And the meta hasn't really said these heroes are very good up until the point where it's like, nope, we need to survive, they're going to work.
I mean, the other problem is like having the Rubik and SV. It just feels like they don't have a position 5 hero, because both supports, they kind of want farm. They want to be greedy. They want to be on the position 4 row, so you get a little bit more farm XP. And I just didn't really like the setup, as much as what Falcon had. It was the day and night. The Bounty Hunter Mirana is like up there, and then the Rubik Spirit Breaker is kind of like down,
Well, he bashed the Razor mid lane that time and got
Oh,
the kill.
sure. He did so much that game.
Sorry, what percentage chance do you think they have to win TI right now, Liquid?
17%.
Exactly. That was the only answer.
There was only one answer to get there. One thing we didn't talk too much about is the man on our screen and his counterpart with the mid lane. We had the overall last pick going the way of Liquid, so it was Invoker that was picked into the Earthshaker. We knew it was coming, and yet this Earthshaker never died, Rhea. Never.
It's because he's just the best. He's the best
just the
Earthshaker in the world. I love seeing Malrine on these heroes like Shaker or Sand King when he can make plays by like he got a blink at 11 minutes. When he can do that and he can be around the map and enable everyone else, he gains his farm like on the way, like he'll farm on the way, kill someone, farm back. He's so efficient and good with it. I think it also comes from how good the supports are, right? Because we've seen other teams where the mid will just end up walking around the map and kind of flailing because the supports aren't setting up enough. But you have this super strong duo in Mirana, Bounty Hunter, and then it just means that anywhere Malrine goes, you have like a Svensson, you have your Mirana follow-up, you have like a Razor to do damage, you have everything. I think Malrine was perfectly enabled in the draft.
It definitely did seem that way from the way Game 1 played itself out. And I'm sure that Team Liquid has something in mind to come back in this game number 2. There's a lot of effort that needs to be put in this draft, though, because they need to start off well. They need to set themselves up for success, starting from the lanes already, as that's where it all went wrong in Game 1. But let's see what is coming our way.
Team Liquid versus Team Falcons. Game 2.
The second game, we're going to have Falcons on the Radiant side. We swapped that around. Team Liquid will therefore be Dire's side, and Team Liquid will be the team with first pick. Falcons overall last pick. And we got maybe a couple of changes coming out. One hero in particular might be missing in terms of bans, because Team Liquid does have the possibility to pick up the Ember if they really want to. But it's not just that, because it's been a little while since
Wait a
this
minute.
hero make it through.
Wait a minute. Oh my god.
Yep.
This hero is back.
Oh.
Do you want to play Ember against that or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best answer, because you kind of stop him from moving around in the team fights. You build Mage Slayer. But then again, I think ES just gets to a point where he doesn't really care. He's going to get there,
There's a couple ways to try and navigate Earth for it. You need to have early ways that when he rotates, you just have the damage to kill him. Don't allow him to spread the Magnetize over a long duration. It's like catch him, kill him, stop him from using his ultimate. Or you just need to have really tanky heroes with dispels.
Sounds like a job for Doom.
All right, can we?
What was the win rate on Doom? You want to remind me of that one? But yeah, tankiness to survive or just kill him.
Can we take a small step back in the sense that this Earth Spirit, I mean, we talk about it a lot and we see it banned almost every single time.
Mm-hmm.
What is the short version of why this hero is banned every single time?
Quick map play. You get to lane into pretty much most matchups. You don't really care what you play into. Even some of the harder matchups you can play, because you can kill off the range creep. You rotate nicely. You can buy Vessel. You can buy Shivas. You can buy like pretty much whatever items you want to continue fighting into the map. And Magnetize does so much damage. The talents also feel really nice. So your damage scales throughout the game. Your map presence is there. You can TP rotate quickly. Like everything you want in a hero, Earthspirit has from the mid lane.
He's so hard to kill because he has so much strength gain per level. I don't know why the hero is so tanky.
He also is like so good for mid lane because he doesn't even have to skill roll anymore. You can just skill your kick and pull, and you're able to just clear waves and farm efficiently. And then on top of that, his innate means that he gets extra damage depending on how many rocks he hasn't used. So in mid lane, where you don't even need to use your rocks, you can just kick creeps into other creeps, for example. It's like he just is dealing so much more damage than he should be doing.
One day he'll get nerfed into a point where he actually goes back to support again. But maybe this is the TI. This is the TI that will send him back to the role he was started on. Well, technically he didn't start on that because it was kind of broken on release. But anyways.
We got a nice start for the draft for Team Falcons as well. The Lina and the Centaur are a classic duo and have had quite success this international.
Yeah, very stable foundation for the draft here. I don't know if the Lina is going to be a flex for them because I probably don't want Skita to play this hero because it doesn't really fit the MO, which we discussed briefly in the first game, where Skita needs to be the dagger hero. He needs to be the frontline hero. Do you think it might be a support? Do you think there's a chance that it could be a support? I remember Falcons did it before, a long time ago on Crit.
Sure, but I also could just see, like, I mean, there's so much flexibility with it that fundamentally, if it is cores, no matter what, Centaur will protect Lina core, done against the Earth Spirit. I prefer that to be the case. I don't really want to see Centaur to go to support and then everything goes around in different directions. But Liquid, they want the pace to be increased immensely this game. They now pick up 2 supports that don't just play just chilling, waiting for things. There's not a Rubik waiting for things to happen. It's not a Spirit Breaker chasing into the map. It's now a Tusk and a Hoodwink together, getting kills, making moves, and that's exactly what Earth Spirit wants. So the pacing will be very different to game 1. Falcons, they need to be ready for this amount of damage in both the lanes and the early rotations.
Yeah. Something like Undying is still in the pool if they want to just try and focus on bringing lanes back to neutral, because right now it looks like Liquid is just going to go for murder after murder after murder.
And you kind of need supports that can match up against Tusk, like Wyvern with the Embrace against the tag team, or something like a Dark Wheeler to dodge the tag team, or the Wind Ranger. I think heroes like this that provide you with stability in the lane, they need to pick their supports right now and ensure that the last pick would be easy. Because if they pick supports that are too greedy, then the laning phase could be a question mark. Then it could create a lot of problems when you're trying to pick your overall last pick. So the 2 picks here, 16-17 on Falcons is very, very important.
Hey, you talked about the Enchantress already at start.
This is the strongest support in the early game. And Bane as well, like very, very strong. Probably is Creed gonna be playing the Enchantress here.
They very much went for the we want to survive as much as possible, right? You've gone for 2 lane dominating supports in their own ways. And that alone is like, okay, if we can win the first 8, that will buy us time to get to 20. And by 20, we feel like we'll have a draft that will outscale Liquid. But it's now a lot of emphasis on both I was about to combine Snaking and Crit into one name there. But anyway, Crit and Snaking to kind of fill their roles.
I'm also kind of like a fan of the way they play the Ench, where you max the impetus early and you don't get heal and you just be a damage dealer.
You're one of those type of supports, I see.
Oh, wow.
You don't... I mean, I'm a fan of the enchant and heal, and you just get the creeps, you just body, and then when Earth Spirit rolls in, you just press heal, and it's like you just don't care anymore, because like, all right, great, I'm doing my job. But I can see the damage. I think if you just put the Tusk to half HP, there's no fight to be had, right? So
there's the big booty. I don't think I've ever said booty this many times on panel.
No, what a name for a hero, by the way. Especially at TI as well, Shiva. Come on.
And he's not even, from old Dota 1, right?
He is from Dota 1. The name is based on his, if you remember his old Dota 1 model, he actually has a very big bottom.
Very big bottom.
That explains it. That explains it. Thank you for that.
Okay, this is probably Ace's best hero. The Underlord, he knows this hero inside out. It gives them a lot of global presence. You can connect to the Tusk. It's just a very, very strong lane with Hoodwink. I'm expecting the Underlord to go with the Hoodwink, and the Tusk will be on the 5. The position 5 with the range carry here to round everything up, for Liquid.
What is a good range carry here, though? Because with Lina, I feel like she outranges a lot of heroes. And with Centaur, I'm worried about the ability to get on top of someone.
But you have the ES, so I think you just need a draft that works, that makes sense in the lane. and you're gonna be fine. I think ES is gonna be your true win condition. Like even like Nature's Prophet is still in the pool, which could be fine with the Tusk. Anything that's strong in the lane.
I mean, it's the Prophet, the Wind Rangers, the Lunas, like the super kind of generic range core that will do their role in the early game. And then you can just join the Earth Spirit, like Winter's already mentioning, join the Underlord with his axe timing. Like, you don't want a carry that like is out of sync with Underlord and Earth Spirit.
Yeah, the benefit about having the MP is you have a way to wake up the sleep, from Bane. I think Bane really hates playing to MP.
We saw Nature's Prophet banned by Falcons in game 1. So it is on their radar. They might still ban it out. I feel like at this point as well, I kind of have to ask, like, is Lone Druid just ignored in this series? Like, is he dead? Is he done? We saw him be so impactful yesterday.
At the moment, it's ignored, but also could be a consideration for Liquid potentially, just because you see the kind of supports. The Lone Druid can always hunt them, and you are going to farm quite nicely in lane, so it is a potential pickup for Liquid as well.
They have a really nice 4 as well. So like whilst Lone Druid is farming up all those items, I think the rest of them can play really nicely together. I think Lone Druid Bear has insane kill potential on lane if you bring Tusk as well. I mean, it would be so nice.
The final pick for Liquid.
Yeah, the decision here is about how greedy they think they can go, here. Can we go for the Lone Druid, or do we want something more team-based like a Luna? Like, or the Win, Win is like a very team-based hero. This is a little bit, I would say, like a strange one, because Centaur is considered a very hard counter to Win. But Liquid feels like we don't really care about that. All we need here is a hero that can play with the team, because the benefit of having a Win as a carry is the rune fights are going to be very favorable for you. You can just come over, shoot a power shot. Usually it's going to end up with your team winning the small little fight there. So that's going to give them a lot of early game aggression, and Falcons have to decide as well on their part how greedy can they get, what type of Skitter hero he's going to be able to get his hands on here to stabilize the game and let the Lina farm. Like, what melee heroes are available here?
Tiny.
Unless you want to go back for the Kings that he's played quite a bit of. Very successfully so.
Kings is okay. Kings is pretty decent.
I feel like this point, he has a lot of options that he could go for. He has deep pockets.
Yeah, if Ursa wasn't so bad of a hero, Ursa would be good here.
Yeah.
Until they pick, no.
It traditionally is counted as the hardest hero for Underlord to deal with in the whole game.
I mean, also into Earthfit, right? Just any way to just try to punish the Magnetizer always going to feel really nice, right? So, I mean, the lifesteal ban makes a lot of sense from Liquid to protect it. You're not really going to see Juggernaut in current meta. Also, Arme is not in the playoffs.
Didn't we see it? Like, somebody, was it
tried
pure play? I think somebody played Juggernaut, I remember.
And then, we're just going back for the Sven, why not?
Yeah. That's very solid. I think the way I see it is Underlord reduces a lot of your damage and Sven overwhelms you with too much damage. So you don't really care, and he still fits the ammo of a Blink stun. And it's very, very important that Skitter is playing the Blink stun hero.
And I think with Nisha playing the Earth Spirit, it just takes one roll into a Fiend's Grip, Skitter will be there, or Mauer will be there, and you will kill the Earth Spirit off very quickly. So I think the Falcons have the tools to deal with probably the strongest hero at TI so far. But if they don't control the pacing of the game, Liquid have all the heroes to poke, to prod, to get an objective, to reset, get the resources, go again for another kill. They have a very scary lineup. It looks a little bit better for Liquid, but I think Falcons, they have the tools to just build that big net worth lead again, to play through their supports, to get their cores online.
Yeah, when I look at these lineups, I think Mickey's pick at first confuses me a bit. You now have the plus armor from Sven. You're playing into a Dispel from Enchantress. You're playing into a Malreen's Lina who can, doesn't care about win run in the first place. It seems like early they have a chance to really shut him down and give him no options. But the other 4 heroes are very, very strong to the point that I think they make up for his weaknesses. And then eventually when Mickey is able to have a BKB and can then join Nisha in going on Malreen's Lina, for example, and not letting him play the game.
So, main question is very simple. At game 3, yay or nay?
It's a tough one. This one is it's a very tough one. I think it's very equal. But according to stats, you can't go wrong with Earth Spirit.
Yep, what he said. I mean, to be fair, statistically, Earth Spirit very good.
Yeah.
But after that first game, it's hard to go against Falcons.
Yeah.
But I think Liquid, they're in a better position. They have the Earth Spirit, they have the aggression, they have the Liquid of 2 years past. Surely.
I think if Falcons is able to beat Liquid here, it's obviously very good for them to stay in the competition, and that's very nice. But I also think this would be a very strong statement of like, hey guys, we will answer your Earth Spirit with Alina, and we will win. And that will open up the draft for them moving forward in this international. So there's maybe going to be a lot of other teams looking at this to see if Falcons will get that advantage over them in the games to come. But of course, they have to perform first. They have to do it first. They have to beat Team Liquid and eliminate Team Liquid first. And so far, their history here during the international has been mostly going to a game 3, but maybe they can break that curse here for a second time round. As we first are going to hear from Coach AUI before heading in the game.
Thank you so much, Shaver. AUI, we got a chance to talk to Blitz in the last interview, and he was just talking about how much he loves you. 20 years together in the Dota Sushi, one of the biggest friends that he has. And then you walk out there in game 1 and absolutely trash his ass like it was nothing. Why are you so mean to him?
I don't know. But yeah, I've known Blitz forever. We know each other since Dota 1. I respect the guy a lot, and it's honestly a pleasure. Apparently, this is the first time we played on the main stage against each other. He told me that. Gave me a hug backstage. It's honestly, I'm blessed.
Well, you certainly don't care enough to not pick Sven again. Very rude of you. Let's talk a little bit about this Sven. Why you guys? Why Sven? Why so strong?
I think he fulfills like stuff that we need in our lineup. Skitter's good at the hero, and like he goes well with Amar and Maureen's hero pool, so it's just a good hero for us.
All right, you guys have already eviscerated everyone's bracket in this series, but at least tell me we're gonna go to a game 3. Promise me, Owie. Promise me like you would promise him 20 years ago.
No, I really hope not.
You don't hope that you don't make it to a game 3? You gotta reword that, Owie. They're watching.
Yeah, I want 2-0 for us.
Oh, come on. Okay, fine. Very well. Owie 2000, incredible job. I hope that you get that 2-0. I bracket. But thank you so much. But you guys, we'll get into the game.
Thank you so much. Falcons versus Liquid, game number 2. AUI, one of my favorite, I'd call them personalities, I guess, of all time, Synderen. He was a coach for us. First, he was a player, though.
Us?
Yeah, DC, back in the day.
Yeah, you just say us, you know, people are going to be like, what Counter-Strike team did he coach you on?
He was my personal coach.
Oh.
But yeah, he's a really nice guy, very humble, and glad to see him have so much success. I mean, he's won 3 TIs, technically, 2 as a coach, 1 as a player, one of the most legendary people in the scene, no doubt about it. As we get into game number 2, do you think there will be a game number 3, Synderen?
I think there's a pretty good chance of it, at the very least. I mean, the first game was obviously a complete beatdown, and when a game extends that long and one team is dominating, at the end, it's going to look like the worst loss ever, right? But in reality, you know, you could have argued that they should have GD'd out earlier, and they were just far behind against the Bounty Hunter lineup, and that was a very hard game to recover, is what I'm trying to say. But Liquid are the kind of team that can bounce back from a bad game immediately and find the right solutions, and obviously, they have very resilient players. They've been through everything. They've been through incredible win streaks. They've had the worst losses ever on the biggest stage. They've tried it all. So, and obviously their players are a little bit of a mix of 2 past teams, the old Liquid and the old Gaming Gladiators, and both of those teams had rivalries between each other and obviously with the other big dogs at the time. So experience is very key in situations like this, and they've got that in spades at the very least. And the lineup this time, I think, is just also better overall than the game was in number 1.
Yeah, they got the big booty on Ace. I think I would have guessed Underlord, but I didn't know that was the answer. Of course, Pitlord is the original Synderen, the OG of Dota 1. But yeah, they get to pick that again. This time it's against a much different lineup. You have, I mean, Sven is the same, I suppose, from Falcon's side, so Skeeter will get a repeat on that. But Amar playing much different hero this time around than the Razor. It is Centaur who has been... The funny thing about this draft is you didn't know where the Centaur was going until the very last pick, because it could have been mid, technically. They could have played Carry, Lina. But yeah, that's part of the flexibility that comes with Falcons.
Yeah, they've for as long as this team has existed, they have been, I want to say, the biggest flex team in Tier 1 Dota. Like, they've just always valued having shared hero pools. That might be one of the things that AUI has been focusing on the absolute most in the draft, and has kind of had his players either train specific heroes to get them on a playable level, or just immediately recognize, all right, which heroes do we have major overlap in that I can use for strategy. Obviously, Razor is one that comes to mind from the beginning. Timbersaw, Huskar, Viper, and a lot of these heroes, what they share is an ability to absolutely destroy individual matchups. So a lot of the games that Falcons win, one or two of their lanes are extremely one-sided. Now, last game, that wasn't necessarily the case by draft. It kind of just accelerated very quickly. Or you could argue they stomped the bot lane, which I still think they shouldn't have on paper. But other than that, that game wasn't a game where they were just drafting to smash lanes. This time around, the hero that comes to mind for that is the Enchantress. This is a hero Falcons love. Played it countless times, but it's actually in the hands of Crit, which is kind of unusual. This is, I think Snaking has the highest win streak of all time in Pro Dota on this hero, maybe on any hero. I believe he won 21 games of Enchantress in a row in 2024, 2025 before he lost, if I'm not mistaken. I just remember it being this most ridiculous stat line. But they're still choosing to put it on Crit instead here. Crit plays Bane. But I guess they just want to keep their players in the respective lanes rather than in terms of the heroes themselves.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Enchantress is such an ultra aggressive hero, and this is a hero that can scale into the late game as well.
Yeah.
We've seen so many times before. But yeah, now that Snaking is on Bane, you're not going to be... I don't think you're going to get the same farm as Mirana.
No, that is not happening. That is definitely not happening. But the thing about Ench is, in certain matchups and certain lanes, this hero dominates. This doesn't seem like the type of lane that's likely going to happen. You're playing into level 2 tag team with a Wind Ranger, and together with a Centaur. I don't think you are going to be putting all that much pressure, but you're definitely going to get a lot of farm onto a Mar.
Yep, and we've seen the Centaurs kind of take... I mean, if he doesn't go Heart first, Cinder, I'll be shocked. Or Radiance or something weird.
They go Helm of the Dominator into Midas.
Okay, well...
A real Amar would
into
go Midas.
That
would be real.
Wow.
That's a real Amar build, isn't it?
That's equivalent to double Midas. That's excellent.
Helm of the Dominator, Midas, Battle Fury.
Yeah, I mean, Helm is, I guess, standard at
yeah,
this point.
you just buy
get it literally every single game. Understandable. Actually makes me miss Marcy a little bit. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. That was the original Helm when that came back.
Yeah.
Be able to bounce off of that one.
I'd argue it's surprising that we've seen her, I believe, 0 games.
Would you, if she was brought, if she was picked, do you think it would be more likely to be a support or a core?
I think it would be more likely for it to be picked as a core, but I mean, she definitely has some shortcomings. It's not, I'm not super surprised that she's not top meta or anything, but 0 games on that hero is quite surprising, especially because there's a couple of players on the big stage here that are in the main event that really play Amin Marson and like specialized in it, but none of them are running it, so what can you do?
Bottom rune will be a regen for Malrine. We'll bottle it up. Nisha will take an LSA. Snaking in the area. Not able to get anything off, though. Crit also here, but Alpha Wolf a little bit too late to the party. But we'll be able to pressure the tower. Going to keep that siege alive a little bit longer now that this wave catches up.
Yeah, this is a key timing for multiple reasons for Falcons. As you mentioned, the siege creep. Malrine also cracked level 6, so they wanted to put the Laguna to use to get a kill and the tower. They're going to settle for Boxy.
Yep. Laguna is there. Boxy staying alive with the Lotus, but the Brain Sap and the right clicks are enough as Malrine will secure First Blood and the Tier 1 at 6.5 minutes. Very, very fast play here from Falcons. Nisha, first magnetize of the game onto Snaking. Can get the roll in as well. That's a kill, so some good retribution. Actually gets that bushwhack as well onto Malrine, onto the single tree there. TP's out successfully. But they do save the tower. Thought that was a goner for sure.
It's a good response from Tofu, but you could maybe have wished for it to come a little bit earlier so that they wouldn't have lost 90% of the tower, but still, it's a good sign that they don't just have to immediately concede this to the first Enchantress move. And they get Nisha on the board. Now, he doesn't have Urn. He is going Treads first. no pickup of that with the kill. But this hero, like the panel talked about, Earth Spirit has been one of the biggest heroes of the entire tournament. Insanely high win rate, and there's plenty of heroes in the pool that have high win rates. The thing that's most impressive about Earth Spirit is that he's been first picked in the majority of games, and he has... Oh, yeah.
He's getting gone on under the tier 1 tower. Will pop the God Strength to try to kill off Boxy. Not going to happen, though. The Nightmare is there, though. No follow-up, so Snake King not able to secure at least some sort of a trade. Good rotation from Liquid.
Mickey even made his way down there in case there was going to be a response from Falcon, so Liquid are sure to bring the numbers. But yeah, what I was saying about Earth Spirit, as he's going to pick up an Arcane Rune. This hero has been... I think it has about 65% win rate as a primarily first-picked core, which is very unusual. So, definitely one of the strongest heroes. He's going to connect onto Amar. Silence. No focus fire, though. Worried about the retaliate, I suppose. I mean, he has to use it if they want to kill it, though.
Yeah, well,
maybe not.
Jackal will be there, and doesn't need it after all, it seems.
All good.
For Malrine, though, with the Laguna Blade. Can they get the kill on the Nisha? Nice job with the Wild Wing Ripper as well. The right clicks are coming for him. The impetus, not quite enough, but Malrine, can you guess correctly? Into the north. Nisha gonna get hit by the Dragon Slave, kills off the Wild Wing Ripper. The Blood Grenade, right clicks do suffice. Might cost them though. Crit can take the
that's a nice LSA connection.
onto the tier 1 tower with the Dragon Slave as well. Mickey now ticking out. So Malrine's rotation makes the world of difference. Very close call though. That could have lived on both heroes, technically speaking, for Liquid.
Really good spellcasting from Malrine. That looks easier than it is. And yeah, Liquid don't really get anything for free here. Begs the question, what if you just focus fire at the Centaur right away? Yeah, you're going to take some retaliate damage, obviously, but I think you kill him first, and then...
Yeah, that becomes a little scarier.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously dicey, right? And you know you're going to take a lot of damage, but time is of the essence in moments like that, because you know the enemy team is going to rotate and put up some sort of a defensive rotation for Amar.
Is Blade Mail just dead on most heroes?
Yeah.
Was nerfed too much?
It feels like you only see it purchased on heroes that have taunts.
Does Axe, Legion, although we don't really see Legion, I guess.
Yeah. So by extension, because it is bought by 2 heroes and one of them doesn't get picked, it's pretty dead, yeah. We haven't seen much Axe either. It's been very...
Yeah, that's a shame.
It was one of the heroes that I would expect to maybe get a little bit more love, especially in a patch that favors hard carries a lot. And Axe oftentimes goes up in value because you can actually kill certain heroes, 100 to 0 almost. But haven't seen him much. Malrine, not going to get found by the Earthbind. Oh, excuse me, Earthbind.
There's a Meepo in this game. Wowee!
It looks the same. I'll give myself a pass on that one.
You think it's the same VFX? You think Valve are lazy? Come on.
No, it's not. But you do remember that track through the concoction projectile, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or something. I don't know if it still does, actually.
It was, yeah. I mean, no, Track used the actual Alchemist bottle, right?
Was it? I thought it was the same. Oh, whatever. Doesn't matter.
It is the same. I don't know if they changed it, though.
Yeah, maybe they didn't.
Next time we see an Alchemist in the game, we'll pay close attention. Of course, we will definitely remember this conversation because we're very good at remembering things.
Yeah.
Stacks from Mickey.
Saw the Bane. Was not going to happen. It's actually time to evacuate for Snake King, or he's going to be on the receiving end. Mickey.
Stampede. Shackle into the nice shards from Boxy. Oh, the Nightmare though onto the other side. Snake King, very nicely done. It buys him a little bit of extra time, but...
Huge.
It was.
But not enough.
And we should mention, since this is an elimination game, especially for Liquid, this is Boxy's best hero, I think. I mean,
he is insane.
The original Tusk for me is Crit, and then it became Boxy eventually, if that makes sense.
There's a couple of noteworthy mentions. I think FY also had a couple of years where he was insane on Soxa, I think.
Oh, man, Soxa.
Soxa's Tusk was wild for 2 years.
When he tried out for us, that's the hero that he played. This might be a very big gank for Liquid. The slow is there. The Fiend's Gate's coming. Tofu from the other side. It's a 5 versus 1. And guess who loses his life? It's the 1.
Yep.
Either.
If he could have somehow won that exchange, I think...
That would have been an Arteezy special, I believe. Except he was playing Lifestealer.
Yeah, and he had a couple more items.
Just a couple.
Yeah.
Now let's
Oh.
say, but the grip is
Nisha.
there with the Laguna Blade. Do they actually have the damage? It's a very tanky hero in general. One of the highest rank gains in the game. Nisha will turn it around onto Bane instead. So Falcons definitely not the same start that they were accustomed to in that game number 1.
Isn't that crazy to just see that unfold at 12 minutes? This is a Lina mid and a full duration Fiend's Grip. And the guy still survives on like 30% HP and gets to counterplay them and kill the support.
Does he still have the highest strength game in the game? At the very least,
He has
it's
one of the highest.
Top 3, I think.
It's 3.8.
Centaur might be higher.
Centaur is in the game. He has 4.3. I think that might be the highest, single highest. But, I mean, Earth Spirit's just something else. Spirit Vessel for Nisha.
Wow, already 1,500 away from Ags on the underboard. Good farming here. As Boxy's going to be found and destroyed. And now another tower will go the way of Falcons. So that's one thing that's going in their favor right now.
This is still a relative. I mean, it's an even game in terms of net worth, right? The biggest discrepancy from expectation, if you will, is that Skitter Sven is having a much harder time than he was in game number 1 with a similar matchup. He's laning into Underlord again. This is something that Liquid have definitely improved on. Nice sharpshooter.
Again, going for the Nightmare to get some terrain walk action. Looks like he's gonna end up dying nonetheless. Ace will bring him down. I think he was trying to go for a cheeky deny in the tier 1 tower, but was spotted by Tofu. Mjolnir next on the list for McKay. As we hit the 14-minute mark, looks like it'll just be a trade, although nobody's on that side for Falcons for the Wisdom.
And the good news this time for Liquid is that they are even, and they're not playing against an extremely oppressive map control hero like Bounty Hunter. So this time it feels like they can find their footing and get to play their own game.
Crit.
And Crit will...
Does get to the side of the shards, but it matters not. Another kill goes away with Liquid. Stampede. Amar want to get some sort of a trade. They'll get it onto Boxy.
I was about to stomp him, then he was like, I can KS with an ability that costs 0 mana instead.
Okay, I'm shocked here.
Malrine.
Yeah, he's out of there. As Amar is working on a Lotus Orb. Man, this young man has grown so much, Cinderin.
Oh.
Good against what? Focus Fire, Pit of Malice, Magnetize.
All of Earth Spirit's garbage.
Yeah.
Very good against the Vessel, obviously. Yeah, there's a lot of upsides. I think in order for Amar to buy this item, he needs to feel like there's really good reasons, because otherwise he could have bought a farming item. Know how this guy operates. It also is a hybrid item on Centaur.
The old Amar wouldn't do this, though. And by the old Amar, that's the younger Amar.
Yeah, the younger Amar wouldn't have played Centaur.
That is true.
He would have played Timber or Razor or Doom.
Or Mars.
Or Mars. Yeah.
Even in the current meta, he would pick Mars.
I really wish Mars was better. I think that hero is super fun to watch.
I mean, he got dumpstered with the facet removal, right?
Yeah, he's one of the heroes that suffered the most from that.
Mars gonna be found by Boxy, gets the punch up. Tofu's there with the bushwhack. There's a power shot coming from the other side. Even Nisha joining the party.
A lot of long-range artillery.
But the other offlaner in a lot of trouble. A full Fiend's Grip into the right clicks from Malrine. It's enough, so trade for offlaners.
Look like the Underlord is tankier than the Earth Spirit.
Yes.
Or excuse me, the other way around. The Earth Spirit tankier.
I know
than
what
the
you meant.
Yeah. Yeah, my bad.
We're just synced up, Cinder. Even
That's
when
right.
you're wrong, you're right in my
Yeah, and you finished my
sandwiches. That's right.
There you
Love them
always do. Oh, he got out with
barely.
Vessel on. Yeah, he's fine.
Very close call for crit. Nicely done. As he's already he's already working on Aghanim Scepter as a first item. Is that normal on Enchantress?
It's an occasional build that we see. I don't know what exactly prompts it in this game.
So they're gonna find themselves a Bane.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised to see it given these matchups. I would have thought this was a Pike game.
Yeah, Pike sounds incredible.
Against Underlord, against Earth Spirit, even against Wind Ranger to get position.
But it's a root, right? And I mean, nobody has a helm on the other side. As Liquid will go through the gate now. Not quite the 20-minute mark, though. No Tormentor up at the moment. They do scan out briefly and know that somebody is down here, and who else would it be other than Skeeter? This would be a massive kill. He's actually running towards them. Boxy, Mask of Madness, which means he can't catch anything. will get stuck inside the shards. They're going to try to kill off Snake King instead, doing a good job of making them target him as they're going to turn their sights onto Mickey instead, getting beat down by the Sven. Pushback just in time with a sharpshooter to follow and a power shot as well. It's 2 kills for Liquid. They save Mickey in the end. Another very close call. Could have gone either way.
That looked like it was getting real dicey when they started diving that deep, but no TP from Amar. And Malrine couldn't connect on the Wind Ranger together with Sven because she was so far south, so yeah, they end up getting away with that. I thought that was real bad once Sven got to hit, but clutch play from the Liquid Pause 5 Tofu, 5-0-6 now on the Hoodwink. This hero has a pretty bad win rate this tournament as a 5 and a really, really good one as a 4.
Hoodwink?
Yeah. But Tofu knows how to run it.
That's interesting that there would be such a discrepancy.
Yeah, I think it was massive. I think I looked at it and it was like, I think as a 5 it had like 29%.
How
It had
many-
64.
How much more of a sample size between the two? Is it roughly the same as well?
No, it was definitely fewer games on 5, but still, I think it was still a decent amount. I don't know when you would consider stuff like that significant. Like
Anomaly, yes, anomaly.
how many games does it need to be before the chi-square is high enough?
Is that your vampire voice? I remember that one. As Aghanim Scepter up and running for Ace. So global at his disposal. And this is huge because the Tormentor, now that I'm saying it out loud, we don't really see Tormentor fights at all, do we?
No.
In theory, very good at contesting if there was to be a fight there.
Yeah. I think that's definitely something. The way that has developed over time is not the way it was intended. This was, I think, they were hoping for the Tormentor to be a fighting objective, not a whoever is in the neighborhood or wants to go out of the way to get it can just have it kind of objective.
Yeah. Or if you're
don't see many fights next to
lower skill players / turbo players, it just isn't an objective at all. It doesn't exist. I can attest to that one. Blink Dagger. Who's actually building the Blink there? Pretty early Blink. Looks like Amar will be going hard into Blink, though.
Yep, Sven is queuing up Dagger. Tusk almost has a Dagger.
So, do you think he regrets the Lotus? Because he would have had Heart by now, and you'd be farming faster. Of course, he doesn't know if there's going to be that much aggression coming the way of Liquid.
I don't think the difference is that big between Lotus and Heart for farm rate. Like, yeah, it's a little bit. Maybe it's cost him a few hundred gold at most. And like the opportunity cost of going that route, if the Lotus could change a team fight, yeah, I just think this is even Amar. We'll see the value in that.
Get the Reaver now.
He will.
Messerschmitt's Reaver, our favorite. Crit inside the shards. Boxy, don't think he's missed a single one of those yet.
He doesn't miss.
Masterful. I hear the Sven ult with the Fiend's Grip. Do they have damage this time? Absolutely. Finally, Nisha brought down. Boxy looks to be next on the list. We'll get off the snowball, but it's only a matter of time. LSA keeps him in place. So 2 kills for Falcons now.
Really nice Blink reveal from Skeeter. That's the kind of impact you want to see immediately. When you're having a bad game on Sven and you go the Blink, you're buying it to fight immediately. You're not buying this to jungle for another 5 minutes. He finds a big ticket kill in the Earth Spirit. I believe Nisha was on a streak there. Yeah, he was dominating, so a nice little bit of bonus cash going Skeeter's way. Keeping the game even still.
About 1,200 away from his Ags. Little friend. Little what?
No friends.
Yeah. Questioning myself. I shouldn't do that anymore.
What else would be Little Fiends?
Yeah, Little.
Well, here's a big Fiend's Gate.
Yes, it is.
Well,
Crit in some trouble, and by that I mean he's dead.
Yep. They go and they little find him. Close enough.
Okay, just ignore that.
Snaking, you'll get out.
This Underlord Ags, I can't remember exactly what was changed, because when it was first introduced, I feel like we would see it as like a luxury 4th, 5th item.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's always been really good. They're going to find Snake King as well.
Oh, since back then, I think Pit of Malice has been buffed quite a bit, just the spell itself. And the game has also developed in a direction where it's less about balling up around Underlord. I think it's just a natural progression of the bigger map that getting more value out of this while you're farming just seems to be more favorable than running pipe most of the time. Look, somebody was in the neighborhood of the Tormentor. Tofu will get a Hunter's Boomerang, so the 20% incoming spell damage amp on the target is really nice news for Earth Spirit. Underlord Firestorm against Centaur will hit like an absolute truck already. That's going to be even more now. And against the Sven, of course.
Yep, that percentage-based damage. I mean, that heart is going to cost you more HP in theory if you're getting hit by Firestorm, but top net worth in the game.
Yeah, but when you take more damage, you feel more.
That is true. Behemoth's heart. Punch comes up from Boxy. Easy kill onto Crit again.
Crit has played a lot of games on Enchantress in his career, but it's not the type of hero that I personally love to see him on, because it's less, less playmaky in the traditional sense of, initiating fights, setting up a great stun, or making a clutch team fight contribution, or it's more about early lane pressure and movement. And in these stalemate situations, when you get to this point, that's when it's perfect that Snaking is playing that hero, because he just loves to farm jungle, then he'll just go on farm for 10-15 minutes. For Crit, I guess it's less of a preference for him, and they just picked it because they thought it was the right idea for the game. But obviously that does come at the cost of you're effectively relying a lot more on Snaking finding the setups in this game than in the average game. And he's found a couple good ones. A couple full duration grips, so not bad.
Very slow game, though. Yeah. I mean, 10 more kills for Liquid, but net worth-wise, dead even. As Amar is going to be hounded under the tier 1, all alone, gets off the Stampede. They get locked down, though, nowhere to go. I say that, he actually gets to the other side. The Bushwhack is going to find him with a sharpshooter to follow as Nisha continuing on. This is a tanky chonker boy, but they do find the damage eventually. The Snaking was just here, so he will fall as well.
Yeah, it seems like the communication was, I don't have TP on Lina, and then they just don't reinforce it. Sven had TP ready, Enchantress TP'd and then cancelled. So they obviously knew that was a 5-man move on the side of Falcons, but
Dota Plus
not to show up.
Dota Plus loves Falcons, apparently. As the Kobold will die, as Malreen's going to try to fight despite not having their off lane. He's going to get stun locked inside of this pit. Gets to the other side, though, just barely. He's ticking away, though, as Ace will continue with the Firestorm, and he's getting extremely low, and they do find the kill eventually. Meanwhile, Sven trying to fight it out against Mickey and the rest of Liquid. He might just find a Tusk, but it's going to likely cost him his own life. This was very questionable plays from Falcons. They lost 2 heroes and still took the fight.
Yeah, Malrina, I guess, just didn't expect so many heroes to be there, but that is a very costly play to go for.
I don't know if Dota Plus saw that one coming, because it was just showing a 67% win rate.
Oh, not anymore.
Snaking.
Okay, well, he'll find a setup, but for who?
Mara's just going to chill.
Walk it off.
Nisha is extremely tanky. It will take a lot. Basically, you need Lina or Sven if you want to kill this guy.
Even tankier now. Assange is completed. Into the pit they go. So as expected, a completely different experience than game number 1. This time around, Liquid do get to play, and they've been playing. Their moves have been hitting. Almost all of them have connected, leading on the kill. And although it didn't lead to much of an advantage, this last sequence was really huge. Getting 5k out of it total, getting an Aegis.
Crit gonna dodge the roll. Okay, Nisha on the cliff, but they have Fiend's Gate coming. Tusk Snowball as well to help him out. Crit likely will fall. As you can see, Liquid here in numbers. They get the Aegis on Mickey as well. They go back through the Fiend's Gate. I think Malreen is actually maybe in some trouble. He's gonna show himself. Goes for the 4-staff TP, should be fine. Imagine that Essence Distiller hits though. Very powerful. Boxy already showing off the blink, of course, to the 6k lead. Mickey has the Mjolnir BKB. And about to finish his 4-staff in the eventual Hurricane Pike.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Now, Reen's going in early MKB, so wants to deal with this win run.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I think going right-click Lina here is You might say it's not the right choice because he's playing with Sven and it's too much of the same thing, but I actually kind of like it. I think he needs to be able to pose that kind of a threat to the Wind Ranger down the stretch where he can actually be the one to kill Mike. Still does need some defensive item at some point, it feels like. Don't know if Stampede and Nightmare are enough to rely on. But for the time being, I do agree with the damage approach.
Malrine, he's actually spotted. They cancel the TP crits to the north to try to save him, but the Fiends get still available, and the focus fires enough. Malrine is dead. Another huge kill for Liquid. And crit, collateral damage. Liquid in charge. 3 minutes on the Aegis. They want to force a game number 3. Does he have little friends yet? We've been talking about it for so long. He does. How highly would you rate this, Ags?
It's super situational, and I don't really see the purpose of it this game. I mean, maybe I'm just missing something. Could be. But I definitely would have leaned in the Pyke direction for this one. And if nothing, I don't even think we've seen it cast the spell yet, but eventually.
Foxy and Snake King will join forces. Snake King won't be happy about it, though. 10K lead for Liquid. How much can they get out of this Aegis? 2.5 minutes left. They still have only a single tier 2 left.
Yeah.
They've been very aggressive so far this game.
Yeah, now Falcons get to try what it feels like what they did to Liquid game 1. A little bit more delayed, I suppose. At this point, Falcons were up about 30K.
Yep.
Or, yeah, it was probably close. It was like 20-something.
I would say the game was effectively over at this point in game number 1. It is definitely not the case here.
This is more within reach. But Falcons will need to find some sort of key jump where they get to utilize all this farm on the Centaur, where they get to use the MKB, which is about to be picked up now on Lina. This is a crucial timing for them. For Liquid, just keep doing what you're doing, keep controlling the map. If you find picks on Earth Spirit, that's obviously great. You don't have to fight with your Aegis. Minute and a half left on that.
Yep, feels like one of those games where they just try to starve them out. The old, I mean, that's the Falcon strat, really. And that was the Gaming Gladiator strat back in the day as well.
Well, the original Gaming Gladiator strat was to win in 20 minutes.
That's true. That was patched out pretty fast, though. And Snake King was killed off pretty fast here. Fight the death. Falcons want to fight. They find Nisha. He pops a really fast BKB. Laguna Blade finds him, though. Nice block off. He's taking the damage. They get the kill. Will it be at any cost, though? The Nightfall away, not successful. They cancel the TP of Skeeter. They kill off Malrine. And Amar going to be stuck in a 1 versus 4. And that is going to be another huge fight for Liquid. In the driver's seat, to say the least. Still with that Aegis intact for another 30. They can maybe poke at the high ground.
Crucial reaction from Nisha there. Getting that BKB off makes a huge difference. He would have died very quickly, and they could have probably got a much better position for the follow-up fight, but the reduced damage he took delayed that kill significantly, and then the reinforcements arrive. Now we're on to the high ground. Focus fire. Okay.
Doesn't have great range because of Bane, but they'll still kill him anyway.
No buybacks on the course, so you can do whatever you want. Obviously, Liquid don't know this, but they want to poke them out regardless. They had an Aegis to work with still. Mickey has a Satanic. He's a super tough kill.
Aegis expires, back to full HP, and this will be almost certainly a set of barracks. Melee barracks will refresh the fortification. Liquid likely to just back away, though. Yeah, this is their game to lose. Falcons would have to have some sort of a massive comeback at this point. Be more and more out of reach.
Funnily enough, this game looked even for a very long time. The entire lead has been built over the last 10 minutes.
It felt like that one domino fight where Malrine showed up in a 3 versus 5. I don't know what that was about. Did not work out, that's for sure.
That was definitely Domino number one.
Are looking for the hook stomp, only finding one in the form of Tusk. Laguna Blade to the Underlord as there goes Sven pounding away, but Ace gonna get saved by the snowball. He's gonna go through the Fiend's Gate now, but they find the connection on the Mickey. It would be a much bigger kill. Pops the Satanic, but it's not gonna be enough. Looks like he'll get chomped down by the Sven, but Nisha, look at the magnetized damage as Ace comes through with the Firestorm as well. And again, 2 cores dead for Falcons. So Liquid getting the better of that engagement yet again. Snake King, 12 deaths to his name, and Crit follows suit on the other side. Liquid, they don't have their Windrunner, but sure they can still poke at the very least at this bot lane. At least force out the fortification. I mean, it's 50 seconds for Sven.
Yeah. Should definitely be looking to hit at least a little bit. Amar will maybe be a little annoying. Might feel confident that they can't kill him because there's no Wind Ranger, but I'm not so sure that would be true. Even without Magnetize and everything. Let's
Goes
see.
into the double hoof stomp, into a buyback from the Enchantress, who shows up, and now all the damage being applied to this half-man, half-horse, Amar, somehow gets to the north. I don't know how that happened. I guess it was the Lotus being reflected, but he doesn't have any reinforcements. He's dead. 80 seconds, no buyback. As Boxy picks up apparently a BKB. Didn't notice that one. Now the retreat for Liquid. Oh, the Ogre actually cancels the TP of Boxy, but he is still A-okay. They're sticking around as Mickey about to spawn.
Yeah, no, Boxy's still here. Now you can fight instead.
Snake King, goodbye. And Fiend's Gate right on top of Malrine.
Even the neutral creep's working with Liquid.
Another Pit of Malice right on top of him again. They get the LSA onto Mickey, but now the focus fire coming out. Malrine's just getting deleted right now. My goodness. He's dead for 60, and that is almost certainly going to be the game. Jumping from Sven, the last-ditch effort from Skeeter. Ends up being a wasted effort overall. God's strength.
Oh, they found him in
Get
the left
Yule's
side.
out. They're just going to call it GG as Liquid will force a game number 3. I mean, pretty clinical, I have to say.
2 back-to-back stomps, but in different fashion.
Yeah.
First game, the victory, or rather the snowball, starts way earlier, but drags out very long. This one felt like was a dead even game at 20 minutes, and then Liquid are just like, let's win in another 15 instead of in almost a total of an hour.
How often do you see a support go 8-0? Tofu went 8-0 on Hoodwink.
8-0 and 22 as well.
Yeah, he was extremely
Great
active this
scoreline.
game. I mean, Liquid were just more active in general. I feel like game 1, it was all Falcons doing the pouncing. This time around, it was kind of reversed. Do you think that's more of a draft thing, or?
I definitely think the draft played a massive role here. They didn't have to play against the Bounty Hunter. They got off to a better start in the lanes, and there's a couple of player-hero combinations in this game that just worked really well for them. I think Boxy on the Tusk was super impactful in this game, and Tofu, like you mentioned, just a great game from all of the Liquid players.
All right, let's go to Shiver.
Thank you very much, Sutsman and Synderen. I think this one was maybe already written in the stars. If you have a series on the main stage of the International between Team Liquid and Team Falcons, of course we're going to a Game 3. Come on. That's in the MO of the teams. That's in the MO of the players. And we like that because more Dota 2 coming our way. Very good. I will say, though, both games so far in this series, Rhea, have been a little one-sided. This one, very much in favor of Liquid.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's many reasons for that. I know Winter has a problem with one particular player. But I had a problem with Centaur. He went for this Helm, he went Lotus, he went Hot, and then he went for a Blink Dagger. And I just feel like when your team is struggling so hard, it's put Bane's out here trying to do literally anything to make a play happen, whilst it feels like Centaur cannot be engaged in the game whatsoever outside of pressing Stampede when someone gets gone on.
I mean, Falcons were showing some efficiencies, but then there was a couple of games where it was like Bane plus Selena in the mid lane, Bane plus Sven in the enemy triangle. Like, they tried to go for some moves, but it didn't really work out. And at that point, things kind of just started crumbling. Sorry, I believe it was actually their own triangle. They went for the gank, but still, it's like it didn't really work out for Falcons in that way. And then once those pickoffs failed, everything else just kind of fell flat. And Liquid It was like, okay, we are ready. We have Mickey on Wind Ranger. He's got the confidence back. After game 1, the slump of Lina, now Wind Ranger in game 2, like he knows exactly what he has to do. They're really pushing the limits of their heroes. Boxy and Tofu on the Tusk and the Hoodwink, exceptional showcase of what they can do. Sure, Boxy died a couple times randomly around the map, but like fundamentally, he was always like leading the charge in the aggression. And then Hoodwink, not dying a single time in this game. 8-0-22 on Tofu, on the position 4.5 Hoodwink.
4.5.
Yeah.
Calculated.
I thought
mean-
we're not allowed to say numbers.
Rolls are different, right? Draft numbers are another discussion, but with Liquid, they got 2 4s, 2 5s, mash them together.
This
It
is what
is
you get.
wonderful. This is what you want to see from Liquid. Also, you know, the Earth Spirit in the room. Why is it allowed during the draft?
Yeah.
I don't really know, but Nisha finally picking up some runes for all the fantasy enjoyers out there. 9, 3, and 23 on Earth Spirit.
I don't think they lost the game because of the Earth Spirit. Sure, you can harp on why are they leaving it, in this game, But you can't just ignore the fact that Snake can't play his hero. I think he just doesn't really understand how his hero works because he doesn't play this hero. This hero is not something that he understands how to play, and he's a very greedy player. That's why he's not suited at playing a hero like Bane. Like there's a couple of dash and a couple of moves that he was making in the game that kind of grieved his team so hard that I want to say like he almost single-handedly lost his team in the game because of the things that he's doing in the game.
You can see the frustration on his face a couple of times as well in some of those deaths, but unlike Snaking with his frustration, he looked towards Tofu again. Like the stats that he was having in his game, right? On his Hoodwink, having the Yules, the Blink, just being really present, especially with the Distiller as well. Like, of course, that's simple support items, nothing too crazy, but 75% kill participation. Again, Hoodwink, super low win rate hero in TI so far, but again, another reason why you don't look at the stats. They all just lie, and Tofu is a great case of that.
Yeah, he played a fantastic game, and there was definitely a stark discrepancy between the two teams in this game, and potentially a large portion of that came from the supports. We do get some criticism towards Snaking in this game, and unfortunately for him, we're also going to take a look at some clips that don't really put him in a favorable light, Winter.
So we're looking at the evidence right now. I have to back the statement up with some evidence.
Yes, you do.
I mean, this was one of the few things that I felt like he was like, he doesn't really understand like the limits of the hero. He was trying to play with the catapult wave, but the heroes were like missing for such a long time. He died there and then he respawned and he came here because he died the first time. And then the enemy was able to enter and invade the triangle, attack his carry, and then he immediately TP'd to try and help him, but he couldn't get there on time. And those two back-to-back deaths kind of snowballed the game into a position where I think Skitter just didn't have a lot of space to farm after that. They lost control of the map. And it's all these small little things that just made the game so difficult. I mean, I agree with Rhea that the Centaur not getting a dagger is also an issue, but I think the primary problem they had this game was just Snaking being unable to play his hero.
Yeah, it didn't look too hot for him, I'm sure.
It's like the night vision thing. Like when you play Bane, and the daytime and nighttime cycle, you need to understand what you're doing. This hero gets really active at night, and during the day, what do you have to do during the day? You need to make sure that you're using the vision and you're trying to just play a little bit more defensively and trying to just block ganks and make sure you don't die. I think he had a lot of deaths where during daytime he died, and those deaths were deaths that weren't really supposed to happen. He was trying to do too much. He was trying to do the nighttime stuff during the day, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
And then he died because of that.
So it happens, but good news for us because it does mean we're going to a game 3. There was another moment in the game where Liquid was already doing quite well during the late stage, and as we already saw, it got out of control a little bit, but it also, Rhea, got out of control a little bit later on.
Yeah, I really liked this whole maneuver because this is where I take issue with the Centaur Iron build, right? He's meant to be really tanky here, and what he does is he forces out BKB on Wind Ranger because otherwise she'll just die to this retaliate. And he spends this whole amount of time. Bane comes, 4-staffs him into safety. You waste so much time, but no one is reacting to it. No one's set up to punish the overextension from Team Liquid. And because they get this kill, they're now able to snowball it into a mid lane fight where they're now like 2 heroes down. You don't have the numbers. Your Sven is going in. Like, why are we wasting the BKB at this point and taking this fight? It's just not good. There's no Centaur. And then they're simply overnumbered, outpowered, and then just feed away, and at this point I don't think they really have a way to win anymore.
But also in that clip though, it's like Amar had the ability to press Stampede or Lotus. He opted to Stampede run away rather than instant press Lotus. So if he ate the snowball, then went to snowball himself, bought another, like, say, 5 seconds, and then proceeded to take the fight, it could have been another story. So maybe a little misplay there from Amar. But also, the whole theme of this game, the 2 clips both of you showed, it's like Falcons fighting with 2 or 3 heroes, whilst Liquid has 5, right? And it's like Liquid excels in Dota when they have 4 to 5 heroes and they have that aggression. In this game, they had it. Falcons, though, it's like both of you said, they just let whoever got jumped, it was like Amar's farm, you're dead, mate. I'm done. Marine's dying, yeah, sorry, mate, you're dead. It's like they just let each other die. There was no like camaraderie. There's no hype from game 1. It was just a very weird Falcons game of like, everyone just do your own thing. We'll eventually kind of sync up, but yeah, they were kind of
why are you letting your Centaur buy items that make him tanky to literally tank the gank, right? If you're not going to then punish it. It makes no sense. I don't know what their goal was with the game plan.
A lot of criticism towards Falcons here in this second game. I will also get some more highlights for Team Liquid on this one, because we saw the win rate of Aces Underlord when he was picked. It was like his 4th game. Well, this was his 5th game of the international, but before this, he had 25% win rates, only win 1 game, and it is one of his strongest heroes, and he has had a great tournament so far. And I think this game we just watched, it's a game where we see like, oh, that's why he's considered one of the best Underlord players.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see Ace on Underlords and Dawnbreakers and heroes that can just like be a farm and like farm the side camps, but still be present, right? Like, and of course, he's the farmy offlane. He's going to be more greedy than the others, and like he's going to scale and do all this other stuff, buy auras, whatever, all the other stereotypes you want to give to him. But like realistically, in this iteration of Liquid, there are 2 heroes I like seeing him on. Again, Underlord, Dawnbreaker.
And Dawnbreaker gets banned a lot again.
Yeah, and didn't he get like an ultra kill as well, like earlier in the tournament as well?
Yeah.
Like he pops off on these heroes, and I think it's not about him and his hero. It's more about what does Liquid draft the other 4 players to ensure that his Underlord looks good or his Dawnbreaker looks good. Because when he's on them, he can take over the games, but he needs the correct heroes. Like this is the perfect draft for Liquid in my opinion, because you have the aggressive supports, the offlane that can join, the mid that just breaks the game, Mickey on full comfort. Like this is what Liquid needs to try and replicate.
Yeah, and I'm sure that there was some good talks that happened before going into this game number 2. I mean, with the backs against the wall, you have to, here in the lower bracket of the international, you have to get good vibes, good talks, and we have potentially, I have no idea because I haven't heard it yet, we're about to hear potentially one of the good talks from Team Liquid.
Nish, in your predictions, did you at least have us beating them?
Yeah.
He was fucking Maori mid. This is so sus.
Oh no, Spirit.
Well,
so much confidence.
I thought this was gonna be, positive. I remember the Singapore TI where we heard all the wholesome speeches, but no. No, Nisha might not have believed in the outcome of that game, potentially. But, gotta respect your opponents as well. You know what? Actually, about that respect, we saw in game number 1, Falcons giving a lot of respect to Liquid and their ability to come back in the game. It's why the game lasted close to an hour and had 89k net worth in favor of Falcons when they closed, which, by the way, T, was the most ever.
It's too much. It's just too much, God. It's just a big stat, all right? Falcons, they were greedy, all right, in game 1. Too much greed. Maybe that's why they didn't play well in game 2. They were so gluttonous after game 1. They were having to deal with the burden of that.
It could be.
The sugar crash.
Yeah, the sugar crash.
The sugar crash was very real. Because in game 2, Rhea, it felt like Liquid had no issue going high ground at all here in this game.
I think that at some point they just had too many items and too many ways to fight. What is Falcons gonna do? They're also staggering their kills a lot. I think that when we saw them go bot, it's because they already killed a bunch of heroes outside the map, and then there's only a Centaur to try and defend, and then Centaur's like, I'm strong enough, I can blink hoof stomp, and he kind of defends that tower for a bit to give time for the people to respawn, but then he's dead for 80 seconds as well. It just kind of kept snowballing where it kind of felt like a theme of the whole game. They were never as 5. They were never ready to take coordinated fights.
I mean, it's also the difference between Mickey on Lina versus Mickey on Wind Ranger, right? It's like on Lina, you jump, she's dead, done.
Yeah.
On Wind Ranger, it's like now you have to deal with the Wind Run, and now it's like, do I want to buy MKB on Lina? My Sven can't really itemize to deal with the Lina until I've got 4 items because you don't buy MKB very early on. And even when the Lina bought the MKB, when she was right-clicking the Wind Ranger, you didn't have a Daedalus or a Satanic or anything to really stand your ground, so it kind of felt like wasted gold until you had another 10,000 gold. So I think just the hero alone kind of hurts Falcons quite a lot in the draft. So much that they even pick it into the Centaur. So maybe going into the next draft, I think that hero needs to be considered. And I wouldn't even mind Liquid promoting it in priority somewhere. Because even if they don't play it carry, I'm sure Boxy or Tofu will happily take it to a support role if the draft dictates, that needs to happen.
I mean, there's also something I feel like it's really important for Team Liquid, where right now they should probably have Tofu always on the range hero on the off lane. Like, he should just be the 4. I think because you are picking range heroes on the safe lane and Tofu doesn't like or doesn't want to play melee heroes, and Boxy is always on the 5 with Mickey on the safe lane. Maybe that should be the way they'll be playing.
Just mid international main stage, let's just swap roles.
Not exactly swap roles. I think before they were already kind of like this, but maybe limit the heroes so you always have like the Tusk. I think Tusk, Clock, those are the 2 best heroes for this setup. I imagine they are probably going to be thinking about it because the game feels entirely so different when they have the Tusk or the Clockwork.
Yeah, we normally have a difference in farm priority between the 2 supports. That's why we called one a number 5 and one a number 4. But it's actually Team Liquid, like Tigam said, it should just be 2 4.5s coming out. We got both teams coming back onto the main stage here, and it is 1-1 in this elimination series. Both games, the team that won, very dominant, very convincing, and I think we all can only hope that both teams have gotten the best from the games they won, and then they use that against each other, and we have a very back and forth competitive game number 3. I wonder how we're going to get that. Is there anything in particular, Tigov, that from the way we're going to look at this, that we can tell, like, oh yeah, this could be a lot closer? Because I felt like the games have been decided so early on in these 2 games.
Yeah, I guess it's a battle between, if you want to simplify it, towards the mid lanes maybe, because Nisha had quite a quiet Invoker game in game 1. That's where Malmarine kind of popped off in his Earthshaker. Moving towards game 2, we had the same story where it's like the Lina was quite quiet, had some failed ganks, and then Nisha's popping off in the Earth Spirit. So if there is a way that both teams can kind of stabilize the mid lane, you get a 50-50, they have even rotations, and you feel like their presence is equally met, that's when the game will feel like it's going to last 60, 70 minutes, will be an epic game that we'll remember for years to come.
I would like one of
I think it's the support though. The first game is the Bounty and Mirana stealing the show against the Rubik and SB, which couldn't do anything. And then in the second game, I feel like it's also the same case with the Tusk and Hoodwink overpowering the Enchantress and Bane. Maybe not so much of the hero, like maybe the player as well, the player-hero combination. But I think the support duos are going to be also, again, very, very important for both teams to figure out what duo are we going to go for in our draft, in the early picks.
Yeah, maybe also a bit of more focus then on getting those supports on board earlier. Is the support pool really wide at this point, would you say, Rhea? Because a lot of the heroes that are getting banned out in this series in particular seem to be supports. I mean, on the side of Falcons this game anyway, they banned out the Mirana, the Keeper of the Light, obviously Tree and Protector. I don't think we can even... I don't think we even mentioned Tree and Protector once.
What's the point?
Today,
He's not
just
getting
get banned every time. Ooh, wouldn't that be like throwing in a wrench, letting the Treant through, or is that a bit too risky for elimination?
That's way too much. For a game 3 lower bracket at TI, right? Like, the hero that gives global damage block, insta vision, invisibility just to run around and do anything, BK piercing kind of roots and shenanigans.
Never mind. I never mentioned the Treant.
I mean, maybe there's some ulterior play where you trade it for a Largo who can lick double lowers with the...
Maybe.
No, sorry. No.
No, I don't think we'll see it. But yeah, I think the support pool is extremely wide. I just think it's about having a combination of them that gives you
the right partnership, I would say.
Yeah, my problem is it feels like the Spirit Breaker was like too much of an overreaction to a bounty, and then this game you have like Enchant Bane and Snake King's not comfortable on Bane, and it's so often we see a bunch of other supports that went ignored, like Wyvern, Shadow Demon, Dark Willow have been great. I love Dark Willow, by the way. I think that hero makes your game so easy. I think she deals with so many mid heroes. I think she breaks smokes so easily because she can get out in a billion ways. She can IMI super freely. This support is fantastic and is going pretty ignored.
Yeah, I mean, Willow is always kind of the underrated hero. I kind of put her in the same kind of department as like a Grimstroke, where you kind of forget about what the hero does, but in team fights, it offers so much control and so much kind of random shenanigans you have to deal with.
Yeah, we saw it quite a bit in the group stages, but that was mostly against Lone Druids because it's good against the bear. And then it makes sense. We, speaking of Lone Druid, have not yet seen the bear here in this series, not in the bans nor in the picks. Curious to see if that's a trend that's going to continue. But I'm sure that if there was any strategies that the teams still had, they are about to come out.
Team Liquid versus Team Falcons. Game 3.
Everything on the line. Game 3, an elimination series here. Lower bracket of the International here on stage. Team Liquid and Falcons. One of these two teams is going home. And I'm going to repeat myself from what I said in that previous series. For both of these teams, getting eliminated here is considered a big failure. Yeah, top 8's great and all that, but these teams are playing for more than that. We got ourselves a draft. It's Falcons on the Radiant side, Team Liquid on the Dire side. First pick going the way of Team Liquid. Earth Spirit once again where he belongs on the bans. Bounty Hunter still removed from the pool as well. And the hero left in that we have seen every series so far, every game so far rather, in this series is Lina. We'll see if that's where Team Liquid wants to take this one.
Kotal has been freed from prison.
Freedom achieved.
Yeah.
Is
I
that
guess
the
they have
only
a
one?
big
Yeah.
choice now.
Ooh, they just go for the Centaur straight up.
I mean, it's also like a block pick. I feel like Liquid just wants to get it over with because Ace has like 1 or 2 heroes. I think he has a big hero pool, but there's also some heroes that would help the team a lot more. I know we mentioned like he's really good with the Dawn or the Underlord, but I think the Centaur is kind of like a hero where it would stabilize the early game a lot, allow him to like just get the Helm creep, you drag the wave. You don't really need the support on your lane, so the support can run around. I think the games where Liquid really struggle is when Mickey gets targeted and he gets bullied. So if you have the Centaur on the off lane, he doesn't really need help, so the support can actually go to the carries lane a lot.
On top of that, maybe they'll prevent Lina from getting picked up because Lina doesn't like facing Centaur.
Yeah, I mean, it's anything with gap close or run away, right? The idea of, what if Falcons want to play another Razor game, right? In the game 3, how well it worked in game 1. If you preemptively take Centaur, you have Stampede, you might push Falcons away from that flexibility. But Skidder gets all the way up to a first phase Lifestealer. A hero that has been banned out quite often as a response within the series, but now he gets to put here. Is there a world where, Tofu will go, just give me Centaur Pods 5, let's do some weird shenanigans to try and beat this Lifestealer?
Let's put Nisha back mid with Centaur also?
No.
Okay, well, I tried, guys.
No
I
offense
tried.
to all the mid Centaur players, but I feel like Nisha is a bit of a mechanical button clicker. That Centaur might be, a step below his, his caliber. No offense, Maureen. But anyways, I feel like Liquid maybe could do some shenanigans. They might not even need to be fair.
They're gonna pick supports that can counter the Lifestealer. Usually the counters for Lifestealer are the supports. The SD, the Wyvern, the Tusk, the Clockwork.
Just buy time during Rage to then make him feel like he has to disengage or waste Infest.
And there are a lot of options here. We'll have to see. And Falcons, they're going to be able to ban some out and pick one of them, potentially. I think the Tusk is still a very, very big hero here. I think both teams are kind of like definitely looking at it. Tusk, Hoodwing, these are the two heroes that come to mind right now. Very good picks right away.
Yeah, if we're saying that we have a bit of more focus on which support duos are going to come out, you generally would expect them to come out in the mid portion where you can make sure you get the combo you want.
You have to break them apart because right now there's Tusk and Hoodwing. If you don't ban either of them, you do not want Liquid to have the Tusk and Hoodwing later. So you need to pick at least one of them. And I'm feeling that they might have a higher tendency of going with the Hoodwing.
Okay.
Ooh, Crystal Bane,
okay,
Snaking Special.
I mean, first of all, I like the respect ban on the Wind Ranger. We already said how it complicates the game. You don't really want Lifestealer to have to think about, again, MKB. Also, getting the Lifestealer to right-click it, impossible. And now Crystal Maiden. You Frostbite a Stampede. All right. You're not running away. You're rooted.
Good luck laning into Hoodwing first. You have to get past the lane. Crystal Maiden, not the best laner.
Yeah.
It's a very greedy hero.
Yeah. I mean, as long as the Pulse 4 has a lot of pressure, then yes, I can see Lifestealer. He tries to step up to wave, you get Stomp, Double Edge, plus whatever spells that 4th position has. You are going to...
I mean, I still just feel like they just picked the Tusk and Hoodwing here. Both supports are just really nice in this situation. And maybe you could decide the laning phase later, but most likely you want the Centaur with the Hoodwing. In the early game is just going to be very difficult for the CM. Like, CM is just a very abusable hero.
They'll get the Lina. And the Centaur Lina is a combination that a lot of teams have been liking.
The nice thing though with CM is like you have incredible map play. Like with the Shard, you're always shoving waves, you're always like finding economy out of nowhere, and Snaking's going to be able to utilize that nicely. So he's not on a Bane anymore feeling lost on the map. He's on a Crystal Maiden. He likes being able to play these heroes that get that additional item that can, have that 4-star. That
someone else has to fill that role, Like what other hero on Pos4 can legibly do it right now? There's no Hoodwink.
I mean, I kind of want to see something to deliver Lifestealer to the enemy team, whether that comes from their mid or like a Clockwork here is unbanned still.
Oh yeah, it's Clock, Toss.
There's still Dark Willow as well if you do just want to go more spellcasting supports and like play team fight. I think it's annoying for like Centaur who wants to buy 1 billion items and get tanky to play into these roots.
Hard to run away when you're all rooted up for anyone. They'll get that Clockwork that you mentioned at the start though. Another signature hero from Crit. And a Razor to follow it up with.
Yeah, so they're protecting the Razor by having 2 supports have incredible containment against Stampede, be it through Cogs or, some hook shot, Frostbite. Like there's enough tools now that Razor goes, okay, if I'm jumping a guy, support follow me and we will get this kill. And Lifestealer, he doesn't mind. There's so much aggression in the first 3 heroes that once he gets his Radiance, he'll slot in behind that and go, all right, guys, where are we going?
I mean, if there was ever a Morphling game, this is a Morphling game. Razor, Lifestealer. Yeah, I mean, you pick Morphling and then you finish the draft with an ET.
Do you think that's too greedy of a Tricore?
I see Morphling. It's greedy, but I can see Morphling like just doing so much in this game. And they have Centaur to hold out the early game. Like you are going to attract a lot of attention from the enemy. You're going to play the map. You're going to force them to rotate to you. And the Morphling is going to farm. And Lina is also going to be a problem. Lina is also another hero they have to address. So there's a lot of problems. So even though Morphling could be greedy, it might not be so easy for Falcons to actually punish the hero.
Would you pick that here, or would you leave that Lina as an option that is still flexible and go for another support player here? Never mind. It's
the arena like
similar to the Morphling because it's very good against both the Razor and the Lifestealer. I was also kind of thinking about it. Like it's very greedy, but in the lane you have the jump, so you dissuade the Razor off lane to pressure, and late game you have the Chrono against the Lifestealer.
It looks like an XG draft, guys.
Yeah, it definitely does.
That's why the crowd liked it so much.
Potentially so.
I mean, this feels like a staple, like Faceless Void lineup. You have 2 heroes that are going to be happy to nuke and do damage into your Chronosphere, and it counters the enemy team. I like this so much. The only thing I'm thinking is your remaining hero for Falcons is probably going to be Malrine, who is really good at playing these control heroes. Like we might see a Shaker, we might see a Sand King. I think both of these heroes could really pressure the map hard and make it uncomfortable for Faceless Void to play, who is typically quite slow.
I mean, they're covering their bases. I like this ban. They ban out the Doom because I feel like Doom is a really good matchup into Faceless Void in the lane in the game, and they could potentially move the Razor to mid. So they have to make sure that they cover all the heroes that could potentially punish the Faceless Void here.
It kind of helps though for Liquid that if they are to, let's say, hit a Chrono where they don't get a kill and then there's some kiting available from Falcons, they don't have the heroes that instantly, break Roshan, go high ground, and the game's over in one failed Chrono, right? Like this feels like the type of game that it can go back and forth. It can go, the length of, a full 60+ minute game. Of course, Liquid being a lot more comfortable the longer the game goes.
Yeah, the pressure is going to be on Falcons once you have this CM Clockwork though. You are the ones that have to attack, and you have to try to make sure that Liquid does not get to just sit back and farm, because it's very obvious that they just want to sit back and farm. It's the deciding game. You do not want to put yourself in a position where you are pressured to make plays, to attack. I think it's always easier to play the defending side when you're playing a tie-breaking game or a deciding game.
Yeah, I'd like a drop more wave clear though from Liquid. Because if the game does get difficult...
I actually think they just need damage. I still like the ET here. ET into the Chronosphere and ET with Hoodwink and Lina. I think it's a fantastic pick here. Or maybe AA. I don't know if AA might work.
I wouldn't be complaining about that one.
If you want like pos 5 damage, then you go for like the Witch Doctor from Tofu, right? And then you just put like the Void together, you dilate, you maledict the guy.
Or you go for the Viper.
Yeah, no,
and you put the Lina support.
Centaur support?
Centaur support?
Viper? I don't know. We'll find out.
Figure it out later.
It must
it's all good.
It must be a Lina pos 4 and Viper mid.
We talked about the center support. It's an option. We'll see how it happens. Falcons, they still need one hero, and they also will be thinking about where this Viper is going. They need a hero still, I would imagine, for Malrine in that mid lane.
Mid Rubik. Is this a mid Rubik game?
Spicy.
What time are you trying to put Falcons on? It's like, don't win by 25 and then, get the airport home. What the?
Oh man, the Viper makes the Razor's game so hard because we saw in game 1 he just wanted to run around with Refresher and hit.
Yeah, it's so hard to pick the last hero here.
Yeah, Viper's really good.
They really put up quite a puzzle there on the side of Liquid for Falcons to try and figure out with their overall last pick, whereas normally an overall last pick is seen as an advantage. I feel like this draft from Team Liquid makes their position just a tad bit stronger.
Like the Pangos, the Slardars, the heroes that can give a bit more pacing to Falcons all get deleted by the Viper, right? Because he just goes to mid lane.
I mean, you have to choose either you pick a hero that's good for the draft or you pick a hero to counter the Viper. So I don't think there's a hero that can fulfill both at the moment.
I mean, it's Malrine, just like go primal, skip the waves, and just
Sand King, skip the waves.
Sand King.
Hey, we'll make
just full skip the wave, full ignore everything in life, and then you come back into the game. But I mean, for Falcons, like in the back of their minds, they know it's like one mistake, one like misitemization choice from their team, like Skid or Omar not being on the same page, not connecting with the damage, their draft will fall apart compared to the amount of scaling available in Liquid. And it is a position 4 Centaur and a off-lane Viper, so it's a melee body to enable the aggression of a Viper.
So that still means we're going to have Sand King versus Lina in the mid lane between Malrine and Nisha. And we talked a lot about the mid lane, how impactful it's been in the last 2 series. How would feel that this matchup's going to play out?
So Sand King is going to not lane.
Okay.
He's going to try and grab the creep wave. He's going to try and drag it to the camps in the enemy's triangle and farm them. I think maybe you could see Tofu potentially like rotating to try and disrupt that. But when we see him play his best, he is able to just combine creep waves with camps, extra farm, get his items, and then rotate to the side lanes. It's going to be rough because you're going to have Skitter having the worst day of his life. Against Viper, so
that's a rough one.
Also, luckily for Malrine, though, it depends on the sentry warfare. Like, if he clutches up on the sentries, get the kill, and then there's no vision for Nisha, Malrine can just play the lane quite normally. It just really depends on how does Skidder survive the Viper shenanigans. Is Amar going to pop off again on his Razor like he did in game 1? So many questions toward Falcons, because Liquid have kind of cooked up a draft that is like, if you don't answer these questions, we have the Void. Like, a game 3 lower bracket Void, surely, probably statistically, normally wins.
A big question then, because this is a curveball, of course, that Team Liquid is throwing Falcons this way. Is there a curveball winter that Falcons can throw in terms of where the heroes go laning? Because
I think they just play their game. I, on the other hand, feel like Liquid has sacrificed a lot of their draft integrity just to pick this Viper to try and win the early game and win the laning phase, where I feel that's probably the part of the game where it doesn't put, it's not as important for them to do that, and I don't really like the last period, so I think Falcons are going to come away in this game.
Well, I think this is going to be a spicy one, regardless of what's going to happen. I'm going to grab my support Largo and enjoy this one with the voices of Sunspan and Synderen.
Thank you so much, Shiver. Game number 3 here at the International lower bracket. The last 2 champions here at TI. One of them's going home, Falcons versus Liquid. Without talking about the lineups quite yet, Synderen, who's going to win? Give me your prediction so I can pick the opposite team, because we know you're going to be wrong.
Liquid.
Okay, that's an easy one. Very good. Thank you so much. Did you put any thought into that?
Yes.
Okay.
But
double check.
But you told me to not mention the draft, so I didn't. But that was part of the logic of why I picked them.
I see. Wow, such a logical young man you are.
Smart, isn't it? But I just didn't have to mention.
Using your brain.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things here that are really cool that I really like about Liquid's draft. Whether this is going to work out or not is obviously remains to be seen here. But I think this is a pretty genius Void pick. They saw that Falcons were trying to replicate what they did in game 1 with Bounty Razor, and then they just swapped out the Bounty Hunter for a Clockwork on crit. So the idea is similar, where there's this hero that can flank and kind of box you in your own safe lane and dive you. So they pick a hero that has a relatively low cooldown jump, which is a classic solution to Razor. And in addition to that, they also they managed to grab this Viper block pick, in a sense, in the end to kind of force Falcons into a pick that we haven't seen from them very much, the Malrine Sand King, and then the Viper just isn't mid anyway. Now the Viper is going to lane into Lifestealer, which is a tough lane matchup for the Lifestealer. So in turn now, Falcons are going to try to counteract this by sending Lifestealer off lane on Skitter to try to lane dodge and get him into a more favorable matchup into the Void. And then they will have Razor against Centaur.
I don't know if they're going to stick to it for
Centaur
any period of
4,
time.
Razor against Viper, I guess, more like it, but...
Try versus Try right now in the bot lane, by the way.
I would love if this lane just stays a
This
Tri
is
lane.
your
That would be
dream,
awesome.
and nobody else's.
I miss Tri lanes. Can I just say it? I miss Tri lane Shannon. And I'm not the only one. There's dozens of us.
You probably should not admit that out loud, Cinderin. It's not a good look for you. But it is a Tri lane right now. Let's see how long that ends up being the case. It's already Snake King. He's going to get first blood as Ace will take him home. And that is, I mean, talk to me about the Crystal Maiden, because this hero has not been picked very much. Snake King has played a lot in the past, but has a lot of weaknesses.
Yeah, I think Snake King forgot how Tri lanes work. Just never gets to play them. And if you're standing in that kind of position, you can get hundreds of zeros before you even get a spell off. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what guides Falcons when they pick this hero, if I'm honest. I think sometimes it makes a lot of sense. This time it almost felt like a filler. It was just, we need a solid lane 5 that is going to help Lifestealer get off to a decent start. But then at the end of the day, they don't even get to lane together. So, yeah.
Well, at the very least, the Sand King and Razor will get some nice mana regen from the CM, I suppose. One benefit.
Might also have been you know, it's a pseudo counter to Stampede. Having a low cooldown root with long duration that CM has, it's good for the lane again. But there were so many layers to this draft where teams were countering the counter of the other team. So it never really, now when you see it play out, the Crystal Maiden pick actually doesn't really look like it has much of an obvious CM specific purpose.
Yeah.
Just felt like a, you know, placeholder okay-ish 5. As now the lanes are breaking down and we're seeing some movement. Looks like Lifestealer will get to remain against the Faceless Void, which I think this is a very good piece of news for Falcons. I think these lanes could have been a lot worse if Liquid got to place them the way they wanted.
Viper Centaur lane. Very normal, of course. We have seen a couple of support Centaurs in the past, in this tournament, in fact, and it's actually been relatively successful, at least from the games that we've cast. I don't know what the actual win rate would be. I've yet to see a CM, though. Not sure if that's the case for the entire tournament or not, but very low pick rate, I'm sure.
Love watching Boxy on these in-your-face 4s. Saw him on the Tusk, now on the Centaurs. He's very good at taking initiative. Similarly, he plays a good Clockwork. Like, just heroes that go in, make stuff happen are his forte. So this makes a lot of sense to see on him. Mid lane,
we should speak about Faceless Void, Cinderin, because this is a classic TI hero.
Yeah.
And
David
we don't.
is a fan favorite.
Yeah, we don't get to see it all too often. Obviously, late game, complete monster. What has changed that matters with this hero versus, you know, older versions?
I mean, in essence, it's still pretty much the same hero, same strength, same weaknesses, right? Time Walk is extremely good against taking a lot of damage in a short period of time, but not dying, obviously. Chrono has the same strength and weakness as always. It's one of the strongest spells in the entire game, but it does no damage and has a mega long cooldown. So whenever it's not available, your hero is quite weak. And I think that's part of the problem that this hero has had for a long time is, depending on the pacing of the meta, if it's very slow, everybody just gets to farm, you don't have to fight for much, and you're kind of just chilling in lane and just farming 30 minutes, I think Void can be pretty good.
It feels like a lot of the games, though, already, right?
It does, but it also has some atrocious lane matchups, right? So you also need to know your matchups. And if all of those conditions are met, I think the hero can be good, which is why I really liked it this game. You saw 2 core matchups that are good for you. You're probably anticipating the pace of the game will be rather slow. And your other 4 heroes, as you have ended up with now, can actually do quite a bit of stuff together. So I think it's fine. Yeah, but...
Yeah, and late game versus Lifestealer, I don't think there's really much of a contest. Obviously, you have the Chrono that can just bypass the entire rage effect, and fact that it counters Amar, as we talked about.
Speaking of Amar, Ace
onto
is
Ace.
cooked.
Uses the Lotus, will fall, as Boxy doing a good amount of damage to Amar. Looks like he'll get the trade. But yeah, I'm very interested to see if... My assumption is if Liquid gets off to even just being even in the mid game, that they will be favored because they have Faceless Void. Is that a correct assumption?
I think there's a couple of X factors here. I think the Lifestealer matchup into Faceless Void is better than it used to be after you got the Ags Infest. I mean, now we're talking a few years at this point, right? I think Razor actually does okay against Void later in the game because you're so tanky, you don't necessarily die in a chrono, and you get to make a turnaround play. And Sand King is one of those heroes that, with the right items, can have insane burst damage within a short window, and that's what you're looking for against Void. You need to either have overwhelming damage to kill him, you need to be survivable, or you need to do a lot of damage over time so he can't really just walk it off whenever he needs to. And I think between Sand King and Razor, you can actually kill Void even late game if Malrine is farmed enough. And didn't get to talk about that lane yet, but unsurprisingly, Malrine is just not laning, like the panel talked about. He's just going to be pulling waves and farming jungle camps. Nisha will be winning the lane as a result, at least slightly, and he'll get a nice little snack. Crit showed up and got Lagooned and Dragon Slave and just died. So that was a little freebie.
Indeed, Amar level 3, by the way, on the Razor right now.
That is
not great.
Oh, they're boxing him out entirely with this Tofu rotation. This is super high impact. They're going to need some reinforcements.
Crit.
Yep.
We'll spot Tofu eventually. Oh, in the tree line, he goes to Plasma Kills, going to spot him, but the Bushwhack comes out onto Amar, but the hook stomp to follow. The right clicks from the Viper as well. Amar certainly dead to the double edge as Ace is tanking the tower. Has to be a bit careful. Looks like he'll find the distance, and now Crit has to be the one to be a bit careful himself. We'll get to the other side, though, and Ace shall survive.
Is he going to try to just walk all the way north and try to steal the Wisdom? This is actually possible if there's no TP
Ace
coming
will
in.
get the Lotus, though.
There's a TP from the Sentinel.
Malrine has joined the party, gets off the Burrow Strike, and gets the kill. So a nice turnaround from Falcons, as Malrine will hit level 6.
That's also going to kill Tofu with a Rocket Flare. Stabilizing things a bit here. Looks to be a 1-for-1 Wisdom exchange as well. The Radiant one, unclaimed for now.
Would you say Radiance is better against Void than it used to be, or just roughly the same? Just because the evasion's all on the specific hero now?
I would say it's...
Oh, wait. Oh. All right. That's one way to cancel a TP. Just show yourselves, but Crit will burn for it.
Man, it's so insane.
Ace, oh, nice double Burrow Strike from Malrine. Ace looks to be there. He's going to pop the Lotus to stay alive, but the Plasma Field enough to finish the job. Is Boxy now trying to head to the north towards his base. It's going to be close here. Burrow Strike in 2 seconds. Looks like Malrine should get the kill, and he does. Cost him a CM, but Snake King's used to dying.
Yep. Did a lot of that in the second game.
He's going to have to get used to it on CM as well. I feel like that is her MO.
I don't think you pick CM if you're a player that struggles with dying. Part of the hero's DNA, basically.
But she has no move speed. She can't run away from anything.
Yeah, you commit and you do your stuff, and then hopefully you win. That's how it goes. Is Radiance better than before against Void? I think it's roughly. I think it's a slight bit worse, but not by a very big amount in the hero versus hero matchup directly. It's just that a lot of the time with the old Radiance that was blinding, Void would maybe chrono Lifestealer and a support together and then try to hit the other guy. So you're just not giving protection to the teammate, but for you yourself, I think the math is roughly the same. So it's between the two of them doesn't matter all that much. I was going to point out, is this just one of the most nothing burger lanes we've had all tournament? I think it is. Like Lifestealer against Faceless Void. Struggling hard to find a less interesting lane.
I think
they're both just hitting creeps.
Both players are probably happy, though, I would assume.
I think Skeeter is the happiest because he avoided a Nightmare matchup into the Viper plus Centaur. I think that lane would have been really rough. And the Faceless Void didn't get to play against Razor, which I think, that would have been a tougher lane for Mickey as well, but relatively speaking.
Misha gets slowed into the Frostbite. Malrine is there with the Sandstorm, and Crit making his way over as well. Nicely done from Falcons. Will it cost them, though? Bushwhack finds the target, so they do get the trade. Mickey has the chrono, but have a ton of follow-up.
Yeah, that's a real feels bad TP from Mickey. That's effectively going to cost him a full wave in tower, 100 gold for a TP scroll, and he gets nothing for it.
While bot lane already used the hoof stomp, so he can just TP in the face of Ace, who's level 5 on the Viper right now. So Mar catching up on the level department. And for Mickey, he is opting to go for the Battle Fury, which I don't even know what's normal anymore. But I mean, I remember there was a phase where people were going Battle Fury Ags pretty much right off the bat. Is that still in consideration, or?
I think it's definitely in consideration when you go Battle Fury. It's obviously not something you're going to consider when you buy the Maelstrom build. The reason it's so crazy is that you can just time walk in, kill an entire creep wave, time walk out. So it just gives you immediate wave clear. It's really fast for farming. And in terms of team fights, it can be quite interesting into lineups where it's hard to full commit. Then you're just playing on time walk, poke, and prod. You just jump in, jump out. 6 seconds later, you can do it again. You have an AoE stun, you do decent damage. And then when it's the right time, you can commit with the chrono. I think that's potentially kind of interesting here as an idea, because hard committing can be somewhat tricky into the Razor, plus the BKB piercing stun of Clockwork. Speaking of, it's going to jump Boxy down bottom.
Static Link from Amar, and Frostbite holds the Centaur in place. Boxy taking a tumble.
It's been really good at his cock pushes so far this game. Paying attention, he's hitting almost all of them.
You're a big Clockwork connoisseur, of course.
I am. I have to say that I do miss the good old days where Battery Assault was the default build.
Yeah, I saw you pick that up recently in a show match.
A lot of people
did not work out well.
A lot of people love the Power Cogs bowling. I like the in-your-face Clockwork more than the
easy solution. Make two heroes. One is bowling, and one is whatever.
Clockwork.
Yeah, Clockwork, I guess. Surely there's a sport. Rugby. There we go. In your face, aggressive.
Right.
I like it.
Could have gone with boxing too, I guess, but
yeah, that's true. That would have been better. Thanks for pointing that out.
No problem.
Alrine about 300 away from Blink Dagger.
Yep. I assume he still goes the same build that he did when he was popularizing the hero as a mid with Ags, etc.
Going for the epicenter. Oh, hook shot misses, but he's able to cancel the epi at the very least. And Snake King takes the haste. Boxy does get the hoof stomp, technically speaking. And for Liquid, I assume that they can't play nearly as aggressively with a Void on their lineup as they did in game number 2.
Oh, this hero has that clear weakness of when Chrono's on cooldown, you're just not very good. Whereas Wind Ranger, much lower cooldowns, much better utility. Even when Focus Fire is down, you still have a Shackle Shot. Power Shot can be nice to finish heroes off in the early game. Void is just going to be chilling, and he's going to be farming. And like the panel talked about, this is an elimination game in a really important series, so if you feel like you're confident in your late game and your carry and your mid are reporting that they're happy farming, I think everybody's just chilling. And if you were to give me these two lineups 5 years ago, I would say the Radiant stands no chance if this goes to an hour. But Dota's changed a lot since then, and I definitely think...
First chrono of the game, Rage was placed, but Nisha, actually not hitting the LSA, but he gets the Laguna Blade and for the epicenter counter initiation now from Malrine. That's a lot of damage on Nisha. He will get the kill. Might cost him his own life, though, as even Ace joins the party with that poison attack. Everybody joined the party, in fact. Static Link now a full duration onto Ace, and Mickey try to do something with this Bushwhack help. Has to be careful, though. I walked right into Crit. The beautiful cogs right on his face. Double kill for Amar. Crit has been absolutely outstanding in this game number 3.
Damn, that was actually really funny to watch. I think he was trying to hookshot him in his original position on the Void, and he time walked in the exact same direction that the clock was in, so it was just destined to hit no matter what. And obviously, very easy to get the follow-up cogs every single time.
Already able to steal an illusion rune in the meantime. Close to 1,500 away from Radiance on the Lifestealer. Not too shabby at all.
And we haven't covered this all that much, but what do you think about Ace on Viper as a player-hero combination?
It's definitely not his norm.
No, so it
He's
feels
usually
like...
the big tanky guys that take up a lot of space.
I mean, Viper kind of does that, but it doesn't really buy auras in the same way that most of his heroes do. It doesn't really offer all that much teamfight presence through key stuns or, you know, utility.
Malrine getting a connection into the hook shot, but a nice push right to keep some time. No, Mickey dies anyway. Falcons all on top of Mickey this game. That's back-to-back deaths now on the Faceless Void.
And he's going to lose his tower. This is a pretty important sequence of events for the Radiant team. The TPs are coming. No, they're not. Oh, they're a little bit unsure.
Bushwhack
Oh,
onto
Ace.
Amar with a Laguna to follow. They get the kill. The epicenter ready to go for Nisha, or Malrine rather. You see the freezing field coming out, but not a whole lot of damage done. Nisha on the high ground. Malrine still has that epi at the ready. Gets spotted now. Oh, he's going to try to go for the epicenter, but Nisha turns away. There's the blink into the burrow, though, and it's still enough damage, despite using half those pulses on creeps. Still finds the kill. And that was pretty blind as well. Didn't have a whole lot of vision at all there.
Process of elimination. He turns the corner. Lina isn't there. She can kind of only have gone right.
And Crit going for an extremely early Blink Dagger on Clockwork.
Yeah, this has become a more popular build as of a few months ago. To go on Clock after you're focusing a lot more on, hang on, they're gonna go for this? Oh, they definitely are.
Frostbite from Snake King.
Not.
He already has his shard. Trying to get to the high ground. Cogs will give him a little bit of space. Another nice bowling there from Crit. Snake King. So slow. Uses the shard again. Will get away this time.
Worth pointing out though, Snake King is level 10. Crystal Maiden levels are extremely important and very hard to come by. This hero, despite the rapid gets for, you know, just being slow and frail, the spells are very strong when you get level 4 in both. And you can see this time around, Snake King's actually gone for 3 points in the Arcane Aura.
The Infest Bomb right on top of Ace. Again, he gets off the Viper Strike, gets the stamp. Ooh, the hook shot just misses. Just about 100 range away, it feels like.
He's not going to miss next time when he has the blink.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Coming up now. Counting his lucky stars, there is Ace, who is going for a Dragon Lance into Mage Slayer?
Huh.
I mean, it is a good Mage Slayer game. Sand King, obviously, big problem.
TP gets canceled here.
Yeah, Malrine was just baiting them. He blinked, or he ran in stunned and then blinked out onto Ace. Baited 1 TP.
2 actually. They canceled.
Oh, it's
both.
2 TPs. All right. See if they put that to use.
Tofu going for a mechanism. Does this item still exist, Cinderin?
Yes.
I feel like we're never seeing it anymore.
He wants Greaves. There's a lot of AoE damage, I guess, between Maiden, Razor, and Sand King. But I think Pipe has quite a lot of merit to it as well for the same reason. Upside to going Greaves for yourself is you can dispel off Frostbite, open wounds, but it's highly unlikely that you will be the target for that ability.
Malrine, in the meantime, 1,000 away from his Aghanim Scepter. Ooh, another hook shot just
Reaction.
missing.
Yeah, they have a ward right in the middle of the river. Seeing that move.
Malrine's going to be... Well, he is infested, so they still want to get a little bit aggressive here. See Liquid just exiting, though. Back to farming Skeeter goes in all likelihood. So Amar at least starting out with a similar build to his previous Razor game with Manta. Although I think he went Yasha,
Went Yasha,
into
BKB, and then
BKB,
Manta,
yeah. This game has slowed down a bit, so maybe feels a little bit more comfortable to go for the Manta first.
Yeah, I think the main upside to playing BKB last game was that you were super eager to just run at the enemy team with Bounty Hunter, and you had an insane curve. This time, you are playing, like you said, a bit slower. It is the better farming item. There's some cool plays with Manta here if you're really clutch. First of all, you can get rid of time dilation, which is nice, but you can also Manta dodge Viper Strike. You can Manta dodge, I mean, in theory, you can Manta dodge anything, right? If you're good enough, but especially the Viper Strike is very nice to avoid.
So we saw the Battle Fury on Mickey, and it's going to be the Manta first for him into the Aghanim Scepter.
Cool to see. I personally love this build on Void. I think it's really fun to watch and play. But yeah, the clear downside this build has versus the Mjolnir build is that your single target damage is a lot lower. but your AoE damage and your overall control is a lot better because you build into an AoE stun for your teammates to use, and you get the luxury of reverse time walk.
Oh, another miss hook shot. Crit, not able to make the connection.
Yeah, shouldn't have bought the blink.
I guess so. I mean, the reverse time walk this game, especially good against the static link, right? Because you can take it off essentially with a time walk, go back in and actually fight.
However, it's way less likely that you just jump in Chrono and actually kill the Razor.
Stampede, Boxy looking for a connection, but Mallory's actually going to try to counteract this with an Epicenter. It's going to be Infest Bomb instead, not going to waste the ult. But they get the freebie onto Centaur. And which team do you think is the advantage, has the advantage going into Roche, generally speaking?
As in who can kill it faster or who controls the fight better?
Both.
Yeah, both pretty bad, I would say. Or at least not. Like, nothing stands out as being great. I think the overall AoE control, in terms of contesting it, I like Falcons better because they don't have to commit a big ability to start making things difficult.
Wants the Epicenter. Misses the Burrow Strike, though, as Nisha gets off an LSA, but it looks like he'll still be chomped down.
Still enough.
As Malrine gets the kill, and they're going to get Centaur again. But Mickey coming with the Chronosphere onto 2. Can't pick his target. Goes for the CM first, and now the Lifestealer doesn't have the Infest to work with. Skeeter just has to try and right-click his way out of it. Not going to happen, though. Big kill for Liquid. They're going to turn this around onto Amar. Gets bashed up. Cogs coming out from Crit to try to buy some space, but Amar looks completely dead. Although Mickey changing targets again. Amar getting a kill in the meantime as the double kill comes out from Ace. Eventually they do find Crit. And in the end, it's a 3 for 3.
3 for 3 plus 1, if you will. Yes?
Oh, yes. Sorry about that.
That's fine. All good. In essence, it was pretty much a draw, so...
Gold going in Liquid's favor, it seems.
Yeah, what was the big kill there? Why would they get so much more? Nobody was in a streak, right? I'm still a bit surprised to see it be that much better for them, but... Yeah, I mean, if this Burrow Strike hits, this kill is way faster, and your position is probably better. On the flip side, though, Boxy came in to help and actually ended up dying. But the really big thing here is Rage has already been used before he gets chronoed, so then they get to chain it with the Hoodwink stun. And take Skeeter down, no Infest, as you mentioned. They get to go for the chase here. A little bit scrappy. And yeah, this TP out from Crit not gonna work with Bushwhack being off cooldown.
The fact that Mickey was the one to survive all of that, pretty big. Nisha's like, no, apparently.
Shaking his head, I died to him even when he can't hit his spells.
So your team won the fight.
Yeah. It's a team game. Speaking of Nisha, he's about to finish Aghanim's Scepter. Just 700 to go. Multi-purpose item this game. Obviously, the offensive part with Flame Cloak is great, but also the magic resist against Sand King and Crystal Maiden is more than welcome for him here. You saw how he died in that last engagement. With Flame Cloak, he would have survived for sure.
Did Malrine have Ags in that last fight?
Yeah. That's why it was lethal. Otherwise, I don't think it would have been enough.
Another Infest Bomb. Doesn't look like a connection will be, unless they go to the south. That's where Ace is living right now. They will not redirect for the time being. You see the smoke from Liquid going the opposite direction. Technically the same direction, but they're running away. And Lamar, he's going to be the one spot. Oh, nice BKB. Just in time to get the plasma field off as well. Mickey does have Chronosphere. Nisha taking a ton of damage to the static link. Here comes the Chrono. The Epicenter's right on top of Mickey. Has the time walk away, though. Lamar extremely low, trying to get the kill, but the Bushwhack isn't being enough to kill him off. So first death for Falcons. Boxy with the hoof stomp. Nisha on the high ground trying to contribute something here, but the Viper Strike now onto the Lifestealer. Absolutely no way to get out of this. No way to use the Infest quite yet. The Bushwhack again from Tofu, doing so much work in this fight for Liquid, and they find 3.
I genuinely thought Falcons were going to smash that fight when Amar got to get a full static link off and force a chrono. But the timing of it could not have been better. It ends up happening just as Malrine is blinking in for a Blink Burrow Strike stun. So his entire Epicenter gets completely wasted. Look at how much damage. Sand King did 2k. It all got mitigated. He just time walked it off.
Yeah.
So they just ran out of juice, essentially. They had a full link they couldn't use. Their biggest ability in their lineup right now, the Epi, did nothing. And Lifestealer just doesn't really feel like he can do all that much so far. Needs an additional item before Skeeter really starts hitting like anything. They also tried to chase down the Lina afterwards with a Burrow Strike completely, or just chasing after.
They're going to have another chance to kill off Nisha. He's stun locked for the time being.
Flame Cloak in action.
Absolutely, very tanky as a result, and will live. Falcons missing a little bit of damage in these engagements. Would have made a world of difference, and because of that, Liquid now with a 5k lead.
Yeah, true. As the observer is pointing out, didn't even go for the tankiness talent on 15. Lina can take Fiery Soul Magic Resist per stack as well. So if you have 7 stacks, that's another 35%. Pretty crazy. Might have been worth considering this game versus 110 Light Strike array damage, but I mean, they're both incredible 15 talents. Obviously, 110 damage is not 110 damage on Lina. It's 110 plus 64% from the slow burn.
Will she get a catalyst, ladies?
Oh, you know it.
Who's the best hero in the game for that neutral?
Something that was extremely broken. What was it? Lina is definitely up there. She's very good.
But not the best.
No, I'm trying to think. There's one that's insane. I mean, it's pretty crazy with Quap Ags.
Oh, yeah.
For example. I would say it's also really good on Snapfire. Invoker, obviously. There's a lot of good carries.
Just keep naming heroes?
Yeah, I can.
Very soothing, your voice.
You want to hear another one?
Sure.
Jakiro is a hero. Cute occasionally.
I don't really miss him, if I'm being honest. There was a period of time it was picked every single game. Tofu, though, I will mention, has had an outstanding game number 3 thus far. His Bushwhacks pretty much spot on every time.
This just seems like a really good pick for Liquid. You saw...
They're actually going to go for the lifesteal. They get the stun lock. It's the kill onto Skeeter. It's a casual LSA, and that's enough.
And another one.
Yeah, that is a Crystal Maiden.
Unless...
Very fearsome Crystal Maiden. It is a wolf after all. Malrine shows himself with the shield room. Mickey showing up though, looking for the bash on the freezing field. They'll get the bushwhack instead, as now Nisha taking some damage, but he gets the Chronosphere right on top of Amar, and this is disastrous for Falcons. 3-0 as the hookshot just barely misses.
They're just too fragmented. They're losing their way in this game. Liquid are playing tight together. They're getting all the spell combos that they want. Falcons kind of just going one by one there. Lifestealer is already dead. Top Sanking kind of just blinks in, hoping for a good fight. Maiden is the one to get caught first, and then Amar. Obviously, the bane of his existence on these super strong Razor-type heroes is just getting BKB locked down. And Chrono, you're dealing with Chrono, you're dealing with Stampede. It's difficult if you don't have an item advantage or someone else who's super farmed to rely on, and that was probably what they were hoping for the Lifestealer, but Skeeter just doesn't have very much to work with.
And they went for a lot of Infest Bombs.
It's a good
nice
flank,
double
though.
Burrow Strike with the Infest Bomb, and it looks like 2 kills going the way of Falcons, desperately needed.
That was a very unexpected hit for them, and nice for Skeeter to get both last hits there. Gonna unlock the Manta for him. Still not all that much in the way of offense.
Yeah.
And it's hit very hard.
28 minutes in the game, and Faceless Void's top net worth. Not good news for the other team.
No.
Lifestealer, I think, has to have the lead at this point of the game to put up any kind of a fight.
Or at least be tied.
I feel like a lot of this has to do with their ganks. They've been trying to get him really active with the Infest Bombs, and a lot of them, until now, have come up empty.
Yep.
So he's basically an item behind.
You're going to see Mickey farm really, really fast now that he has this trio of items complete. Going to work on a Scotty next. This is actually not necessary to buy to unlock Refresher on Void when you're going Ags. A lot of the time when you play the Mjolnir build, you will see Voids by Scotty because they need the mana to get Refresher so they can get double Chrono. Ags does, however, give you enough mana, so he's just getting it regardless. There was obviously some other options you could have considered here, as not getting out.
Cancellation, Skeeter, and it gets a Frostbite again, and Skeeter's not going to find the actual last hit. They'll go to Snake King, but kill is a kill, and that is a killing spree ended for Nisha. And into a Tormentor as well.
Okay. It's starting to look like things were going too well for Liquid. I guess we can't have that in a game 3. Already had 2 stomps. Falcon say not a third one.
This has got to be the worst shard in the entire game. Genuinely, I think it's actual bottom. What do you think?
Yeah.
That is, it just increases his net worth mostly.
Actually, yeah. I think this needs some love, or it needs to just work differently entirely. I don't think I've ever seen anyone buy this shard on lifestealing. So what it does, you do damage when you come out of infest out of a creep,
which is never happening.
Which in this game you're going to infest your allies almost always, and then you do a percentage of that creep's damage around yourself, which makes it, you know, depending on what creep you infest, that's not really that great. It can be a
later
decent amount of damage if you infest one of the strong creeps, but it's like, you're not going to pay 1,400 gold for this on a hero that desperately needs to itemize for damage.
Only time you would generally buy it is if you have 7 slots with the consumed ags. You have shard, you have moon shard, you have buyback.
And you've given shard to all your teammates.
That's right. Loxy find himself a little snack in CM.
They can work for it a little bit. Stampede.
Okay.
Okay. Was that... Misha looked like he needed it in mid, actually. Just getting jumped by Malrine and crit.
The infest again.
Ooh, this one would be a big connection. Crit, flying vision.
He gets the hook shot. Out comes the life stealer. Nisha has to try and stand his ground.
Bro, he didn't.
Okay. Mickey coming in, gets the time dilation and the chronosphere only onto 1. They find the clockwork. Can they get the pass? They don't even need it. The bushwhack is there, and the kill onto life stealer is there.
Wait, did he have cooldown or what?
I don't see how. Maybe we can get a replay of that.
Okay, I don't know if he thinks you can get Light Strike Array off between Battery Assault ticks, so he didn't want to waste his rage. Or he was trying to time it perfectly on a Light Strike Array cast or whatever to get maximum value, but whatever it is, that was a total disaster. That Lina kill is 100% guaranteed if he rages. He probably dies after because of the massive rotation, but now it was just 2 for nothing. Big damage onto Amar.
Casual damage for Nisha. He's like, I got more where that came from. Let the TP out in the tree line. Oh, 7k lead for Liquid. 30 seconds on the Aegis. Yeah, that was a big moment.
That's actually a bit hard to get over that. That's really rough to watch.
Do your best, Synderen.
Yeah. All right, I'm good.
MKB looks to be next for Mickey. As the Aegis will expire, naturally. Still a good amount of outer towers for Falcons. As a Basher now picked up from, both Skeeter and Malrine have one. Wait, Skeeter wasn't actually finished with his. Oh man, I was looking at it a while ago. This farm is not ideal.
And yet he's topping his team.
Feels very low. Back inside of a teammate. Snaking.
Them out.
Frostbite. They have the vision. Burrow Strike hits. That'll be a dead squirrel eventually.
Yeah, when Faceless Void is this far ahead of the field, I want to say anecdotally the hero wins like 4 out of 5 games at least.
Yeah, when
the gap is this big and it's good matchups, then yeah.
Get Refresher. This is maybe maybe there's a better one. He's got to be top Refresher buyers in the game.
Among carries, this is the carry that suffered the least from not being able to refresh BKB, because you don't need the second BKB nearly as much when the entire enemy team is stunned. I think the hero that probably suffered the absolute most from that change might have been Sven. It's so important to get the second BKB so you can keep going. But yeah, on Void, I would agree. Refresher is still S tier in his build, and he will be getting it at some point.
Do you go the backtrack chance for 25 on him?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think the Chrono AoE is necessary here. Sometimes it even grieves your team.
How much do they even have to dump in the Chronosphere? I haven't really talked about that aspect too much.
Sharpshooter, Lina spells. It's a good amount. Viper can hit.
No Wombo combo, though.
No, not.
Which is what we love to see.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Winter was suggesting Elder Titan as a combo pick. That obviously would have been it, or Ancient Apparition. But
yeah, the ET games we've seen have been
it was not
very bad.
Yeah. That
But
hero
it,
has
makes,
just not-
it does make a little more sense with the Void, though. Crit, he's infested. Nisha. Okay, round number 2. Hook shot. Does pop the rage this time, and will use it to get out of the cogs. And now Crit getting gone on. Uh-oh, Boxy actually finds the hoof stomp onto the lifesteal. He's going to attempt to TP out, but he gets bushwhacked again. Just punishment after punishment. These lifestealer bombs have not worked out well at all this game for Falcons.
They can't kill Lina like that when she has Flame Cloak. She's just gonna fly out of the cog. I mean, that was naive to begin with. He has Disc, 3k HP, and it's in the middle of the map with no information. This seems very, very desperate from Falcon's
Amar actually
side.
gets bushwhacked. Again, Tofu setting up a potential kill. Boxy gonna force out the BKB, so Amar scurry back to base. They haven't gotten the tier 2 yet in that bot lane.
I mean, they might just continue here. Mickey cracks 25. He didn't use Chrono on the Razor there. Probably would have got the kill, but is saving it for a more important upcoming moment. Seems very likely to just be able to push here. I wonder if Boxy's going to change his build. He's queuing up BKB right now in the center. I was looking for a potential axe on him. He's playing 4 Centaur. He's rich. He's got Blink, Glimmer already. If he gets an Axe, he can just save whoever gets infest bombed. And then you can feel very comfortable on the Void. But I'll take the tower and be happy with that for now. Back out. And Liquid have to know that this is in a very good spot now.
Yep, Roche is up, so you can finish this Scotty on the Faceless Void. I wonder if Shard is on the table for Ace, because that's when they actually get some really good high ground potential in terms of taking buildings.
I would like to see him buy it next.
Could just kill the Tormentor when it comes back online, I suppose, and hope for the best.
Yeah, what are they missing? Do they have any shards except Void? No. So it's a 50-50.
He wouldn't. Wait, is it a 50-50?
Oh no, Viper can't even get it.
Yeah,
no,
he can't
it'll
get
be
it.
Centaur or Hoodwink, yeah.
Amar has a heart, by the way, on Razor.
Yeah,
He'll be tough to take down.
It's a little bit worrying to see him buy this item though, knowing his normal build. Because I have serious damage concerns for Falcons going down the stretch here. This Lifestealer is not where it needs to be able to match up. So if Razor doesn't hit very hard, I think you're effectively just not really going to win a team fight at this point unless you hit a massive epicenter. And Marine does have an Abyssal. So this looks weird if you haven't played Dota for a while. But the way it works with the Axe, with the Stingers, you can still get some value out of this. Also might see Daedalus later. Same things go for that too.
All right, well, Falcons know this is happening. If it wasn't the Rocket Flare, they lose the Belch from Roche, and they're going to go for an Infest play. This is a huge moment in this game 3.
This has to work.
Yes.
It just has to work.
You can see Nisha and Tofu. They're on the outskirts of this fight as Mickey basically soloing Roche. Amar, he's going to be spotted by Nisha. Malrine. Don't have vision up here. Nisha's going to pop the smoke. He's going to use his terrain walk now. Go for Dagon, apparently. Nisha going to be spotted, gets off the LSA, just trying to delay as much as possible as Roche is still being taken. Getting relatively low. Amar's going to go for the static link, but the Stampede immediately counteracts it. As Crick gets one inside his cogs, they're just going to blow him up easily. Malrine infested still, looking for an opening. Out comes Skeeter, not doing that much damage. All of it's mitigated as Mickey gets the Chronosphere now. Do they have the damage on top of it? Mickey focusing on the Sand King. BKB was still there, gets the Burrow Sharper, still falls in the end. Skeeter trying to kill off Niche, but again, the high ground potential going the favor of Lina again as Amar with a BKB attempting to TP is successful, but triple kill for Nisha. They kill 4 onto Falcon's side, and now they can clean up Roche relatively easily, and even more of a lead for Liquid.
Just a masterclass in zone control there from Liquid. They have very, very good hero placements heading into that. All the angles were covered. It was super hard for Falcons to find any good initiation. They break it up nicely with the Stampede to start. Lina cancels Sand King's Blink Dagger. So Falcons just couldn't get into that fight, and now they might even Amar. There's no connection here. Nobody can get there in time. I'm tracking his movement. I say that. Actually, Nisha is cutting all the way around
the
with
hack, Dagon, LSA to follow into the hoof stomp. So many stuns for days. Amar dead, 80 seconds. And now it's all opened up for Liquid. They have this second life. They have Roche banner. This should be buildings. Ace not even needing Shard here, as the Daggons will continue to rain on Nisha.
At the moment we said this wasn't gonna be a stomp, it's been completely one-sided ever since. Every single engagement has been a resounding Liquid victory. And that's 2 full lanes. You still have Aegis, you have Chrono in 30 seconds, you have decent resources on your heroes.
And to add insult to injury, he gets Conjurer's Catalyst.
Of course.
Why not?
Yeah. Takes the cast range variant.
That's
Loses
2 lanes.
14% max mana, so he only has 3,000.
And Mickey, with that second life, hasn't even hit full form yet. Still has a full item to go. Can consume Ags to get number 2. Not sure if you ever
That's
get
Dagon 5. That was fast.
Yeah, that was. That's what happens when you're up 25k, it seems. Malrine in the sideline. You're going to use Roche Banner. Ace has the shard now. Grit looking for an opening. Will have to blink away. Mickey forcing out the Burrow Strike. Very scary Faceless Void right now. Hoof Stomp going to miss. There's the backtrack, Mickey. The reverse time walk, rather. Forcing out the Rage already. And now the Infest into a baby creep. It's a good thing he has that shard, so he can do an extra 50 damage when he pops out. Building starting to go down pretty slowly. They have 2 siege units as well with the Roche Banner as cover. And Skeeter, he's backstabbing. He's trying to get back to his base, poor guy. Let that creep go.
Scouting.
Where's this epicenter? They get the range barracks. Only 1 to go for the Megas. And Amar trying to take out this Roche Banner. The creep also trying to. And Skeeter pops out. Mickey with the time walk. Malrine still looking for an opening on that epicenter. Needs a perfect one here if they're going to stay alive in this game number 3. They get the Hoof Stomp though. Now the damage comes out onto the Lifestealer. Skeeter is dead. Does have buyback. Amar still waiting for this epicenter. They know it's coming. Malrine continues to cancel as Amar not taking the right damage. We'll pop the BKB. There's the buyback now. Epicenter onto the sideline, not doing that much damage in the end though. It's Amar desperately trying to catch up to somebody, but the Stampede gives them all the move speed in the world, and they have still that second life on the Faceless Void. Another bushwhack for the road as Amar takes a tumble, and there's the Chrono onto 2. They get the kill onto Malrine. No buyback to come now. The bash, but again, Nisha has the Eon Disc. They're just gonna call it GG. Falcons have been eliminated from TI. Liquid move on.
Just the better team overall today. Pretty clear in this 3rd game. It looked quite even at times, but when we got to that later portion of the mid-game, this was one team dominating every single sequence, just arguably playing the map better, playing tighter